You've never experienced it. You don't know how it happened and why it became what it was. And if you want us to talk about facts, we can also talk about the elections and the role that GEMA has played. Now you talk about GEMA and the Gikuyu community. Nataka tuongelele election na vile elections zimeibiwa. Nataka tuongee. You want us to go there so we can speak the facts of the matter as it is, and we talk about corruption? You want us to go those routes? Well, before you start asking people for accountability, check yourselves. If GEMA community want to come together, they need to come together to check themselves. Look at your history and look at what you have done to this country. Pay attention to your traits. That is what I'll tell you before you come here to pretend. Give the mic to another person. I'll give it to Kimaliza Kunitombas, yes.
Hello guys, it's your girl Patient Status. Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit the subscription box and put on the notification bell so that you're not any time I post a new video. Remember, I'm the queen of online gossip. So welcome to today's video. Don't forget to give it a like and leave a comment on the comment section.
Hard to make better, that we should not pull ourselves right back there. Thank you.
Mimi naweza taka kusema kuna watu kwa comment, watu kadhaa nafuatilia comment wanasema GEMA for GEMA. Naweza taka mmoja wao apande hapa juu aeleze exactly what you mean by saying GEMA for GEMA. Ni unamaanisha sasa tu Kenya iwe ni wa GEMA au ni vipi? Naweza taka upande usupportio motion yako ya kuweka kwa comment GEMA for GEMA.
And by the way, let me make it clear, as a person, Mimi, thankfully, I'm very open-minded. I don't go with the emotions, right? And I believe that everybody has their choice. So just because someone says they're a gamer, doesn't mean that I'll have a problem with them or I'll start debating with them. That is their belief, and they are, entitled to it. But then, out of curiosity, I would love to hear, what exactly you stand for and some of the policies, because I want to learn. I'm curious. Unajua? Yeah, thank you.
Hivi sasa kama MC Santos amepanda kwa ajili ya hiyo swala au
Santos, have you come to expound for us more about GEMA? Because understand we are on the same platform, we are curious, we are Kenyans, you are GEMA, that is fine. So we also just want out of curiosity to understand more.
Hey, thank you so much. I believe I'm audible enough for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good. Now, yesterday I was part of the conversation that Mbanya brought on TikTok, and I felt, to me, it's not a bad thing. From where I come from, I'm not a cook, but I felt it's one of the reasons that can bring togetherness, be it in a family setup, societal setup. I was trying to think that supposing the notion of GEMA for GEMA, and maybe another ethnicity groups comes up with maybe Luya for Luya, Kamba for Kamba. I believe it's out of that the unity within the community comes up, and out of that you find that the people that are being raised ni watu wenye kesho hawatatuangusha. So actually, from the discussion that we were having yesterday, I was part of the conversation until the end. Nile yenye matarajio yenye watu wanakuanga nayo kitu ikifanyika, baadaye wanakuwa betrayed. It's something that kama hiyo GEMA for GEMA can start right now. By the next election, you will find watu watakuwa wamesha learn their lessons, wamejua what is good for them, what will work for them, and what will not work for them. So as much as I'm not a cook, but me, I would still support that notion ya GEMA for GEMA. I have married a Kikuyu from Karatina. I was raised in Kikuyu since my childhood until now. I'm a married man. The Lord has blessed me with family. But I was trying to think that na kama singekuwa nimelelewa huko kwa Kikuyu, singewajua venye wana behave, how they do things. But the fact that I have been raised there, nimekuwa na wao, wamekuwa wao kama ndio familia yangu hadi wa leo. I still agree that one shouldn't let us tuanze kuingiza hizi mambo mambo na ukabila. Sidhani kama mtu akikuja hapo na kitu kama hiyo mzuri ni kuleta ukabila ndani.
Santos, can I ask you a question? Did you hear what he said today?
Please.
People are not talking about yesterday. People are talking about today. Did you listen to what he said today?
I listen the conversation. I listen to the conversation, and my idea still stands. My idea still stands. Hata mimi nikikama hapo niseme, for example, kamba for kamba, tujengane sisi wenyewe kwa wenyewe, tunatoa bidhaa zetu, tunanunuliana wenyewe kwa wenyewe, tunahakikisha kwamba sisi wenyewe kwa wenyewe kwanza tunajikuuza before tukuuze wengine. Remember, kila kitu kizuri kuanzianga Jerusalem. Ukinatoka Jerusalem kisha kinaenda Samaria na kinaenda kwingine. Unataka aje ujenge nyumba ya mwingine na ili hali hujajenga yako? Asante. I guess hiyo ndio mimi naweza ongea. Lazima ujenge kwanza kwako before ujenge kwa mtu mwingine.
Asa kulingana na wewe, GEMA for GEMA ni kumaanisha GEMA wajenge kwao, yani charity begins at home, kulingana na wewe. In accordance with you. Okay.
Yeah, mimi kulingana na mimi ni charity begins at home.
Na maziwa na maji kila siku. That is our enemy.
Chris, before ushuke, mimi niko na sijui ni swali, sijui ni concern, I don't know, venye utaichukua sijui. Do you think umesema tukienda, maybe tuseme tuende, mimi nao ni mtu wa chai, tuseme tuenda kwa hizo platforms tupate, maybe mtu anasema enda report account, enda you do this, kama ni Kikuyu go and report Sapire account, I mean Alu account. Don't you think before useme tuende, like nyinyi wenyewe mungejiuliza hii historia ya ukabila imeanza wapi na imeletwa na nini? Cause hii ni kitu imekuja tu pap, haikuwa back then. But then venye Lady Jacqueline alikuja huku, kukaenda venye kulienda kwa hizo machurches, is then hiki kitu ndika ikakuja. Don't you think wewe kama Ilungo nango, wewe kama una hiyo that big platform na uko na that big voice, right? But don't you think unaweza go and sit down na huyu unaitwa nani? Huyu the yawa ngane Githaiga, like muongea na yeye, then kama ni beef akona na Lady Jacqueline. Cause me MC Chris, I will just be honest to say in yote is about Lady Jacqueline and Githaiga. Isi ukabila iko hapa. Na tusidanganyane wase, hakuna ukabila iko hapa. Hapa ni wivu na mafitina iko hapa. Somebody anaona mwingine ana move vizuri Chris. Mimi naona Chris ana prosper vizuri. Mimi niko na wivu na Chris, nataka kuona venye nataka kujaribu venye nataka ku bring Chris down. So lazima nitafute a way, nifanye nini? Ni mobilize watu wangu, juu mimi niko na platform kubwa, ni mobilize watu wangu waende wachukie Lady Jacqueline ama waende wachukie Chris. Don't you think wewe kama Chris uwezi kaa china huyu Githaiga, for example? I'm just giving an example. Go ukae chini na huyu Githaiga, muongee na yeye, cause this beef ni kati ya Githaiga and the Lady Jacqueline. First ukisikiza ma recordings ilikuwa inasema Lady Jacqueline ametumia Wasapiri, of which I beg to differ. One, Lady Jacqueline kama alisema Wasapiri amkeni mwende mchome kanisa, wakina nani walienda kuchoma kanisa?
Okay, now let me cut you short. I'm not going to discuss about Lady Jacqueline and Githaiga because they're not here. All right. Secondly, I'm not the bigger person here. Githaiga is not the bigger person here. Lady Jacqueline is not the bigger person here. The bigger person is me and you, and the only problem we are having is anybody against any Kenyan who is supposed to get the right way to finish tribalism and stand as one. Remember, na nirudie tena, kila mtu mwenye ako hapa ametoka kabila tofauti tofauti. na hakuna shida yoyote ya kabila yoyote kuungana pamoja na kukaa pamoja. GEMA wakishikana, wacha washikane. Lakini kama kuna mtu ambaye anaeneza mambo ya tribalism kwa hiyo kikundi yao, call them out. Wajaluo wakishikana, Wamasai wakishikana, Wakamba washikane, Mimi washikane. Kama kuna mtu yeyote ambaye akona hiyo shida, na kama kuna mtu ambaye anaeneza mambo ambayo haipelekani na Ukenya, huyo ni mtu ambaye tunastahili kupigana na yeye. Our enemy is anybody, any party, any organization that is trying to bring us down from any diversity of our community. Because if we try to bring this in a personal level, at we are giving them superior powers to control us. This is personal responsibility. Hisi wakati ya watu wajinga tena. Mimi sitachukia mtu yote kutoka kabila yote ambaye anasimama na ukweli na haki, na tuishi pamoja kama Wakenya. We support each other and we fight our very big enemy. And our very big enemy is our leaders, our politician, our government that is not doing anything to us who voted for them. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sikungia.
Nasema hapo tuko pamoja. Mi sitaki mahali tunaenda atikuwa mambo na ukabira. I'm against politicians wetu na umaskini. Whether ni Mkamba, ni somebody from Western, we are Kenyans fighting the poverty and fighting the bad leadership.
Asante sana.
Yes.
Someone else to mic to Chris.
Yeah,
Mmekazana mnataka kupanda na mnanyamaza.
You guys, mngejua leo mchana uko live ya Kioi. Something happened that it was very very important. Unajua this lady, I don't know nani, nimesahau jina kidogo, alikuwa anatuonesha vile kuturukana people suffering. Let me tell you this friendship na hii imekuja pamoja, what it did within short minute, which angered 50,000 na watu walikuwa na suffer huko. And then when kitu kiendelea kabila, guys, itatuharibia vitu mingi sana. Kama mtu alikuwa kwa hiyo live, mwenye alikuwa kwa hiyo live hapa, naweza kuambia the importance of becoming together. Guys, tutajua umuhimu kuja pamoja. It was so much impressive. You get it? So whatever
Chris nimemute tena na huyo
hapa hivi, let's follow that boss. And then these influencers, these are the kind of people we platform. Hatuwezi danganya hapa, hii platform nakwambia watu naipenda na wanaipenda kwa sababu ya a certain influencer. These influencers do sana, we have to be very careful about them. You get it? Yeah, and alikuwa anaitwa Shangazi alikuwa anatuonyesha bila how people are surviving there in Turkana. Let me tell you, ukiona watu Turkana venye walikuwa nakaa, you just go watch that thing, utashangaa sana. So Chris, kudos so much. Kama unaweza kuendelea tu hivi, let's preach this kind of thing everywhere. And then this influencer to mostly to your pinpoint, tuwakataza. Ukiona place yote ukijaribu kuongeza vitu bro, tuwakataza watu.
Someone else to pick the mic. Umekazana kupanda na
Thank you so much, Don. Thank you so much. I have to move. Thank you so much. Kenyans for Kenyans. Every Kenya matters. No one is above anyone. Every Kenyan matters. No tribalism. Say no to tribalism. Every Kenyan matters. Si ati ya kwamba ulizaliwa hapo wewe ni mkubwa kuliko mwingine. Hakuna mkubwa kuliko mwingine. Every Kenyan matters. Kenyans for Kenyans. Say no to tribalism. Thank you.
Asante. Chris, kabla utoke, now that you are here, tafadhali ambia watu wako ni follow now that you are here.
And I'm follow the Don.
Asante sana bro.
Mimi situmi, kuna mtu ananiambia natumiwa. Mimi situmiwi na yeyote. Na sijawahi tumiwa na yeyote. Ngojea the Don. Na kama kutumiwa ni kuongea ukweli, Kenyans for Kenyans, let it be. Kenyans for Kenyans. I come from where I come from. I'm a GEMA, and GEMA for GEMA, Kenyans for GEMA, and GEMA does not tolerate hatred to any community. GEMA tunasimamanga, tunachagua viongozi wetu na tunawasupport, and we call ourselves nyumba ya Mobi Gikuyu na Thayo.
Nasema mambo kabila, angalia what Eric Omondi is doing out there.
Watu wenye anasema sijui Chris anauza watu, they need to know this Chris is a Kikuyu, I'm Luo, half Luya. When Chris was being trolled kwa hii platform, I was among the people mwenye alikuwa forefront kutetea Chris, and I told Chris, hata usipande mahali popote kuongea, I will always climb kwa platforms na kukutetea. The same way munaona ninatetea Lady J, because I know the kind of person she is the same way nilikuwa ninatetea Chris, because I knew Chris was innocent. And Chris karibu apate depression. I did spend most of the time kwa simu nakwambia, bro tulia, it's gonna be okay, tutasimama na wewe. So mwenye anajaribu kusema sijui Chris anauzwa, sijui anatumika, you don't know what you are saying. You do not know Chris. Ula haizi nunulika na mtu yote. Chris always speaks his mind out. Someone else to pick the mic. Uba muna tuma guest, muna panda na mtaki kuongea.
Chris ni mtu ameanza kujoin live boya mali safi akipreach hiyo peace tangu kitambo. I was there. So wale watu wanasema hapa eti Chris amelipwa ama amefanywa nini, they are just misleading themselves.
Au ni watu wenye wanataka kupromote tribalism. If you're promoting tribalism, na nitakwambia wewe ni mujinga, unafuata utolewe uende mali. Even Kenyatta himself tunasikiza kwa ma videos, most of us probably hatukuwa nini, but even right from the founding father of this nation, the Jomo Kenyatta himself, he was totally against tribalism. Ukabila ni adui ya maendeleo kabisa. That is what you need to know. And if you promote tribalism, your children will be tribal. Hao watoto unalea, they will be tribal. Naelewa? Your generation will be tribal. In tribalism hakunanga progress. There's no progress that comes along with tribalism. Utabakingi hapo. Wakikuyu wako hivi. Wajaluo wako hivi. Wakisi wako hivi. You will never progress. Sasa we kama una promote tribalism, ushindwe katika jina la Yesu. Mwingine achukua mic endelee.
Tuweke macho haya, tupatie TikTok trend hapo juu. Alafu tuende swala tukiteremka.
TikTok trends haizi ingeongea. Someone else to pick the mic. Nitakuwa ni wa drop kama uongei.
Zola tuongelesha hapo.
TikTok wajaongea.
Chukua mic.
MC Chris iko right, mambo na tribalism tuache, to focus. Tunapigana on ground mambo na ukabila, tena online tupigane mambo na ukabila. Tuwe kitu kimoja, tuungane. Mambo ya kupigana haitatusaidia. People are dying na shida na chakula. Tukipigana sababu sijui ni cheo, sijui ni nini, haitatusaidia. To focus na tupendane. Yeah, it will not help. Sijui nani anataka kuwa nini. Tuwe kitu kimoja. Kuna leo na kesho, you never know.
Those people who are saying that we need to call out Gaucho, trust me. Me personally, I will even try so hard and bring Gaucho kwa hii platform. If Gaucho has been spreading hate, if Gaucho has been promoting tribalism, so we will call him out. We don't subscribe. Mimi kama mjaluo, I do not subscribe to those sentiments of Gaucho. We shall also call him out. Don't worry guys. Hata tutafanya, tutajaribu atakuja hapa hivi.
Yani hata sielewi. Yani mimi nianze kusema hakuna kula pilau na biriani, nyinyi wote watu wa bara, manake ni yetu. Ama mama
separating it wrongly, but this thing is not about being tribal. And I think history yote it came out juu ya koti. And the Banya guy said that it's as if the court is directed to the Kikuyus. And to be honest, that's true, because hakuna mtu mwingine ameenda kwa hiyo koti other than Kikuyus, right?
No man, you're out of order. Yani hata sielewi.
No, it's okay. Wacha Karo aongee. We needed a GEMA to come and clarify.
Hapana, kwani hakuna GEMA mwingine huko chini?
Hapana, Karo jamaliza. No, me I love when people prove their point, and Karo
the person who is not understanding ask me any question and I'll
what is GEMA for
Mimi hapana, Karo guys, what
guys mean for
GEMA?
For GEMA.
For nani, please Farid, I'm asking for a favor guys, do not interrupt. Wacheni Karo aongee atu explainie, akimaliza someone else to take the microphone. We wanted someone to come and clarify, and Karo is doing a good job at it. Unasikia? She's bringing all the points that all of us have not been able to see. Unasikia? And now you see
point, man.
Now we can see the gamer, the real gamers are here, are talking. Why don't you give them the space to talk? Caro, continue. Thank you. She's explaining a lot of things that we need to hear from her as a gamer. Thank you.
I think I've explained this and I'll explain it again. GEMA for GEMA is not how people are taking it as tribal. Because if it was tribal, I think Kikuyus could have been wangekuwa wana fight one tribe or the other tribes. But then it's combined of so many tribes. And I don't see any problem of people joining hands and creating a group of their own.
Okay, I have a question. How many tribes are included in this game?
As far as I'm concerned, there is Kikuyus, there is Meru, there is Masais, there is Kisis, and there is Embu.
Where? For GEMA? In GEMA?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Umetaja tribes alafu mwisho ukataja Embu. Embu is a tribe.
I have a question. Carol.
Yeah?
How long have you been on TikTok?
This is my third year.
Okay, so and how long have you known Lady Jacqueline?
For the longest time.
And so how long have you supported her court?
So many times.
So you're trying to say the case here wa Kikuyu was the first big case that Lady Jacqueline has?
No.
So what was the first big case?
I can't remember. But then I'm not here to fight Lady Jacqueline, am I?
Wait, are you
mentioned something before you continue? GEMA is Gikoyo, Embu, Meru, Akamba. Kisii na Masai hayuko hapo.
But Peter Kio is in. Is Peter a Kikuyu? Is Peter one of
the limit for a long time. Let me just clarify. GEMA, it's just 1 minute. GEMA, I think we all did history, education. I want to believe this started to my history. And the story of GEMA begins from the time in colonial.
Rins, I was still talking, please.
Okay.
Yeah, Mikey kanyanganywa. I was just answering Caro nimwambie, like, yeye kukuwa hapa hivi kwa hii platform, na yeye kuongelelea vitu bila kukuwa na exact timelines inaleta confusion. Because ungekuwa unaona that it's not a case ya Murima that was the first big case or whatever. And there's a lot of things Lady Jacqueline amefanya. But this is not what we're talking about at this time. Tuko hapa kwa hii story ya all these things that have been said and what it's gonna cause. So mina feel wewe ni kama umekuwa sidetracked. And we need to understand what, because nyinyi ni wale mlikuwa mnatype hapa chini when MC Chris was talking. I want to know what was it that was said here that you disagree with and you're really not explaining it. Unasema like vitu, like, oh, he said this and then this and that and that. And I am also a Kikuyu. Mimi, my name is Wairimo. Unasikia? My name is Wairimo. And I support like cultural growth and all this stuff, but where do we draw the line? When watu wanasema tusinunue, watu huko wanapenda samaki ya Nelly Noel. Hata ukiangalia mtu kama Meru Pretty, she bought samaki ya Nelly Noel, but we're making it ni kama sasa twende watu waende wakanunue samaki wapi, because huku kuna kina Abundance, kina Nyardadi wanauza samaki. Sasa tuache kununua kwa watu, twende tununue wapi? These are the things that we're trying to speak up against.
Yes.
This is the stuff that we don't support. Wewe ulikuwa ukuje na argument yako ya kucounter what we said, because you were busy down here tukiongelelea hiyo divisiveness yenye iko huku. Wewe ulikuanga like wale watu wa Murima, GEMA, blah blah blah, Mbanya strong. Why are you supporting Mbanya akisema sisi ne Kirego? Wacha nikuulize, what is the meaning of Kirego? Kirego ni mwanamke hajatairiwa. When did we ever think wanaume wanafaa kutairiwa? There is a lot of things. Even though we support somebody, where do we draw the line?
Let me ask you a question.
I want to support my culture. Hold on, let me land safely. I want to support my culture, but I don't want to be out here bringing people together and causing hate. That's what I think Mbanya analeta division, hate, like it's too like extreme. Huku TikTok si tunapendanga nikurushie tumawe tuwili tuende tulale kesho tukuje tucheke nikurushie kamani gun. You know, even if who you are, Mi sikujangi naangalia jina yako. Watu huku hujitanga majina. You don't even know. Half of the people huku walikuwa nafikiria mimi ni Mluya. Wengine wafikiria mimi ni Mjaluo. People don't even know mimi ni tribe gani. And that's how it should be. Hawanipendi juu ya tribe. You know? Anyway, chukua mic.
I want to ask you a question, Magda. When did the court start?
Karo, I know, but I don't think it's more about the court.
No, she told me that I'm talking about a court that I don't even have.
No, okay. Nataka kuchoma. No, nataka kuchoma. Before nenda kuchoma, Karo, I want to give you your flowers. Yeah, you'll have the mic. Just kidogo. Nani Kiki naenda kuchoma na wachia mic. Sasa Karo, I really want to give you your flowers, and I would highly recommend Mbanya akupate position. I love your passion, and in fact, you are a true representative of the GEMA community. So huyo Mbanya munipate namba yake. I want to root for you, even though mini ndorere, but you are doing such a perfect job. Doroka. Ebu chukweni mic nani.
Tu mic alafu niende. Guys, habari zenu. Mimi nateremka napeana tu box 1 minute. People are complaining about GEMA and they think it's a tribalism group. But on my side, I think you say there's a free, you know, kila mtu anaweza kuongea kitu yenye anajisikia and I feel it's okay. We all know that TikTok have group of tribals. Sometimes nikiingia TikTok naweza pata wa Kisii almost 1,000 and 2,000 Kisii language peke yao kwa platform fulani ndio wanaongea. I'd go some other places and I'll see also there is Kalenjin. Almost 3,000 of them are still speaking their own language. You don't understand anything, but they are there supporting each other. My question is, why is it so bad, or why does it look so tribal if Kikuyu agrees to have their own platform of like speaking their own language where they can understand each other? Remember, some of us never went to school. Some of us, we don't even understand Kiswahili. Some of us, we like seeing people speaking Kikuyu. So I don't see problem with that. Where the problem comes is, if we start saying, oh, Waluya, they are not good. Wajaluo, Waacheni. Wakamba ni wabaya. This ni wabaya. That is so wrong. But if you come together as a group and say, oh, that's Kikuyu, you want to speak your own language, you want to do something, it's fine. I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah,
anyway,
if you may let me respond to that. Hiyo ni sawa.
That group has really triggered everybody, like everywhere.
I don't think we have been triggered because first of all, Mimi, I support kukuana like something like GEMA. The problem is venye Mbanya alikam akaanza kuongea, it got very extreme. Unaelewa? And that's where people are upset. They're not upset with GEMA. You know, we can choose to support GEMA, but we can't come here na tuseme Kikuyu to buy from Kikuyu. Unaelewa? Because kuna tule beste yako Kiki that is not a Kikuyu na kuna like kitu yo kufanyia wewe mwenyewe ndio unajua. You can't come here and start kuleta hiyo divisiveness. That's the problem. It's not GEMA. Na ndio unaona a lot of people here, hata hakuna mtoto ameguza Githaiga, and people want to hear what like Meru Pretty pia has to say. We need to know where people stand on this kind of things before we move forward. Unaona? Sasa mimi personally, I don't have a problem with GEMA. GEMA is something that naweza penda niende nisikize. You know, like unakuanga na Kikuyu jokes and like Kikuyu talk, that is cool. You know, that is not the problem. But we cannot bring chuki na tuende tununue vitu za Wakikuyu, tusinunue vitu za Wajaluo, ati hizi pesa tunapea na TikTok, tunafaa tulete zote side yetu ya Wakikuyu. It's a little because sisi ni wa Kenya at the end of the day. We are fighting poverty, not each other.
Maliza niongee. 1 minute.
Maliza.
So we are peaceful, we have no problem. We are tribals. We are just there. You know, people are doing their own thing. Hata Wameru na wana from that. We are not going to disrespect any tribe.
Kiki, what you say, you are very correct, and I will tell you something. Mi kwanza napenda nifike mahali watu wakiongea lugha zao. You understand? We are not against watu like platform fulani wakiongea kama ni Kijaluo, wakiongea Kikikuyu, Kikisii. I think we are not against watu kuongea lugha. Manake hata mimi ningependa sana nifike mahali watu wanaongea Kitaita na mimi nianze kuongea Kitaita. You understand? Because we are living in a places where we don't speak our languages. But the problem is hapa ni kama huyo anaitwa nani huyo jamaa anataka kugawanya kuweka that tribalism in this community, and that is the problem here. Unaona, problem is not about the language ama nini watu kuongea lugha zao. And I don't know why it's always Kikuyu ama au tuseme Kikuyu na nini na Wajaluo always on this problem. Kuna problem. I don't see. Mbona we do have Coastarians, tuko na Mijikenda na tuko na kabila nyingi sana. Kuna Wakamba, kuna Wamasai, yani kabila ni nyingi, but always hapa no one but hapa shida tu mingi kabila mbili kutaka kutenganisha watu.
Wacha nikwambie, let me tell you, this is historical. The differences between the Luos and the Kikuyu stems back from the enzi za baba ya
Odinga na Kenyatta.
So this is an historical feud. Unajua kama anybody that did Romeo and Juliet, you know that, you know, the history, the family had it was a historical feud. Their histories, their feud that hata sisi hatutamaliza, the generation from the next generation will call it this the burden. These are burdens that you would have expected the current generation, the Gen Zs, they wange separate, but from the look of it, so any time that we are getting to electioneering period, you people pay attention, it's usually when we're about to get to elections, unaona. So this zinafufuliwa and then things get back because divided rule is what sells, unaona. So all these things have got absolutely nothing even to do with as much that Jacqueline started. You know, who the hell is Jacqueline to start such a thing, right? It's just that it's that time again where tunanusa elections, so side things will be expected, you know. So people are going to just use their common senses at this point in time. Like you, if you want to hate as much as you can. Mimi, that's all I can say, you know. I'm not here to moral people, you know. Kila mtu afanye vile anataka.
Ati, alafu watu wanafaa kujua kuna difference ya kukuwa na platform mnaongea kabila yenyu na difference ya kuleta hate.
Now that's a
leo na ilikuwa na hate.
Now that is the thing. You know, and when you says
mimi ni Msapere, just let me finish. Mimi ni Msapere and GEMA is a beautiful thing kuona watu wanakuja pamoja wanashikana. Hata kumekuwa neo like that concert ya Ngemi juzi. Wasapere wameenda wamejibamba. But when it comes to hate, ile yenye mnaambia watu waingize chuki kwa kitu, that's not beautiful. So tuache kusema ati Wasapere wakishikana ndio watu wanapigana. Lakini tumeshikana kwa nini? Purpose ya kushikana nini tunaambia watu? Because hakuna vile inaweza fika pale mtu anasema usiende hata kwa platform ya ati, usiende sijui kwa platform ya nani. Unajua? Sasa mimi nikose kwenda kwa platform ya Malisafi nisisikie what's happened. Tuongeni tu kweli. There's a difference between watu kushikana kuongea kabila yao na watu kuspread hate.
Exactly.
And kuna kitu moja nimesahau, like since the beginning of this conversation, when it comes to politics is a dirty game, and it's so sad. History ya ukabila over which we work so hard to fight against it imeanza kukuja, and the worst part inakuja online. My only plea ni wale, I mean these online influencers, wale watu wako na majina kubwa, wale watu wana track footfall kwa their platforms. It's not even a topic of discussion if we can totally avoid it, because we've done so much. I mean, we've worked so hard. Like watu wanasahau, sijui politician anakuja na wapatia sijui this.
For me, I would beg to like disagree.
Anakuja na wapatia this amount of money. Like last election, I was so mad at my mom. Sijui there was a mama who was coming in their groups. Sijui kwa wapatia pesa ngapi. Niliambia mom, let's see how much, I mean how far this money takes you to. Simply, okay, that was not ukabila. That was like that's another topic for discussion. History ya politicians kuja kuhonga watu ndio wavutiwe. But ukabila I swear, if you have your platform, Magda, whoever, unajua kuna attraction ya watu, avoid it kabisa. Avoid it.
No, that's why I beg to disagree.
For what?
No, because there's conversations that need to be had, even though they're uncomfortable.
No, it should not come online. Manze fight so hard.
No, let me tell you.
Atuiongee in a hatred.
Let me tell you.
I understand, but kuna watu like, skiza, unless you're fit mentally, unless you're smart enough, ama usijui IQ yako ni normal IQ, uta understand it's not even a topic of discussion. Lakini kumbuka, kuna wale watu wako chini, like they don't understand ukabila ni nini and the pain ukabila brings in terms of economy, in terms of your neighbor, in terms of you yourself. Kuna wale watu wajui your story and wanakuja.
So Rins, in your opinion, we'd rather not talk about it. What do you think?
I would rather we don't talk about. Okay, no, I'm not. Okay, personally, I don't even like talking about it.
Like so that's your personal opinion. Why do you come when it's being discussed? Because Mimi,
no, Ati, I don't
go to spaces where, let me just tell you, and I tell people every day that you are only responsible for yourself. You are not responsible for you. Anytime you go to a space and you don't like what is happening, you have the power to remove yourself. You can only control yourself. Unaona?
Nipewe mic afterwards.
Yeah. But you trying to run away, you are an escapist. You want things to be swept under the carpet, right? Because you feel there are people who have certain way of seeing things on whatever. Running away from an issue does not solve it. Unasikia? It's not your cup of tea.
Take my points.
Do not join in.
Okari, hebu ngoja na ngoja hii mic be serious.
Ngoja, Magda, hebu unganisha hiyo kitu.
Acha nimalize.
Wacha Alanda alafu anipe.
Nani alikuwa hapa? This guy, anaitwa nani? This guy yule alikuwa anatuambia about investing.
I feel like una divert kapo kwa
sababu. Wewe malizia point yako, wachana na madhako zile video alipokuwa.
Nyang'anywa hiyo mic Rins. Hii mic
kidogo tu hapa.
Kozi mic inaongezewa na hapo na mapinyo. Tumekasirika, tuko na hasira sasa hii.
Nyang'anywe mic.
Wewe dinya hapo tu, dinya hapo maliko.
After Magda, I'd like to take the
mic. My point is there's someone who said travel outside. Okay, this shy boy, sijui kama ni shy boy amesema hivyo, but there's somebody also alisema amelelewa in one tribes are
yeah, he said that travel outside.
Let me just land, please. Let me just land.
No, I was just saying I had that too.
I am here, Ati. I'm not here because I hate the conversation. Kama nikutukia conversation nikupatia so I was like typing, liking and liking. Ningekuwa nishatoka. The conversation is kuna zile points zinaongelewa, the good points and the bad points. And the good points point nzuri inaweza kwa maybe out of 100 points probably tumonge 499 points, and those 499 points kuna wale zinaguza, and I hope they help them. I'm not saying we totally avoid it, but I'm saying we are giving it relevance that is not important.
That is the point. Relevance is the key word. We need to give it relevance because it's something that is so sensitive and it's very important.
Okay, can I take the mic now?
Kidogo ya mwisho, these two names who are being mentioned, there's one name, okay, hata Braf alisema juu ya mtu, which is good. Sasa ebu imagine, out of curiosity niende niangalie, and then it pulls my whatever, my mind. Sijui kama mnanielewa, I don't know how to drive my point.
So what's your point? You're the only one who can drive your own point. Listen,
okay,
let me talk. See, sikiza kitu moja, hapa kwa hizi platform, wewe venye ati amesema you have a choice ya kuchoose penye unataka kwenda na penye utaki kwenda. The reason mimi ukujanga kwa platform ya ati I come here for myself. Whoever I reach out to, that is for them. Yezi kuwa wewe unakama hapa unaongea alafu you're worried about nani amefikiwa, ati unasema there is probably this number and probably that number. Sometimes I don't even know how many people I reach out to. Unaelewa? So when you come out here, you have to say it for yourself. Wezi come hapa useme alafu useme but probably Magda and probably Ati, and when I look at it, I see Mama Sita and Esi. Like, no. You see you do it for you. You focus on yourself. Stop focusing on other people's shit. Unaona? Ndio maana unakuja hapa unaongea, alafu tunajaribu kushikanisha point yako na hatukuelewi. You know?
Nichukue mic au mimi ndio nichukua. Hapa hakuna kucontrol watu wazima, yani tumepita miaka 18 over. You can't control what we talk about. literally. We choose to talk about tribalism, we shall talk about tribalism. We choose to call out people that are dividing and wanting to rule, we shall choose to call them out. We choose to talk about GEMA, we shall talk about GEMA, and we choose to ask to be explained and the motion to be supported. Sisi tuelewe what is GEMA, what exactly the
Alafu finyilia hapo kwa Ndorere. If we choose to talk about Ndorere, we are going to talk about Ndorere. We should talk about Mera. We are going to talk about Mera.
Unaniterrupt.
Hizo mbili usiwache Ndorere na Mera.
Wacha ni land. We choose to talk about Ndorere, we talk about Ndorere. We choose to talk about Mera, we talk about Mera. We choose to talk about anything we want tribalistic, tutazungumza hapa kwa hii platform. Now you have the right to be or not be. You understand? If it doesn't suit you well, you have the right to kanyaga au ukae, utue, uambatane. Umenifahamu? Sasa mimi nilikuwa nataka kuuliza swali yangu hata ijajibiwa. GEMA for GEMA. Ndorere ni, I think it's Luo or something.
No. Ndorere is the rest of the world, people that are not Kikuyu.
Okay. Yes.
Na yule Ndorere is an outsider. Ndorere ni outsider. No, Ndorere is outsiders. No, outsiders. That's what it means.
Kama rings, it's not going well.
No, I can answer GEMA for GEMA. Akina msiningilie.
No. Subiri.
Rings, just a minute. I asked for the mic at Mama Satan.
Ni mimi niko na mic.
Na mimi pia naomba mic, please.
Tunaenda na mtara. Let me land. Tafadhali. Ukizungumza kuhusu, ukijibu hiyo what is GEMA for GEMA, ambao kwa comment wanaandika GEMA for GEMA. Tafadhali usituambie ati mtu fulani yawasikiza, tusizungumze kuhusu nini ukabila. Tutauzungumza na tutakemea watu ambao wako ndani instigate fear and hate. Do you understand? Tutaongea na tutawa call out. Mmoja wao ni huo Mbanya, mwingine ambaye nilimtapanya. Subiri tafadhali. Mike hata ikuji kwako, Mike inaenda kwa mwingine. Kwa hivyo kaa utue. Upo. Sasa ndio nasema hivi, tuna choose kuongea mtu yoyote. Mtu yoyote ambaye ako hapa instigate hate and fear, yani lazima akolwe out na lazima to spread awareness. Manake Kenya tuko 47 tribes. Hatujui hata sisi ni matribe gani. Wazazi wetu wamechanganya, sisi wenyewe tumechanganya. Upo. Kwa hivyo wewe kuja kutuambia usizungumze mtu fulani atasikia. Hapana, hapa ni kuzungumza vile kila mtu yotaka. Mike haiendi kwa NIMS. Mike inaenda kwa mtu mwingine ameitisha Mike. Sijui ni EMS.
Nilikuwa nimeomba Mike. I think I understood what Rin said, but maybe I explained vizuri. Hasemi ati we don't talk about it, but I think what she tried to say is this. Sometimes when you give so much relevance to something, you make it stronger instead of weakening it. Umeona? So maybe ungekam na your suggestion and then a solution of how to do it, because right now people are not talking about this to strengthen support tribalism. We're just calling out this person and making him aware that even we Kikuyus, hata kama tunasimama na GEMA, like to learn the culture, we refuse to be carried away with all this passion tuingie side ya chuki, because it's not about hate. Umeona? But I think nani Rinza namaanisha, the more relevance you give it, the stronger it becomes. So alafu unajua kuna the masses, kuna watu wenye wanakuaga wakifuata tu pepo. Hawa watasikia GEMA for GEMA, hawakusikia live ya leo, which I think most people are reacting to. Sababu kama ungeisikia whatever they spoke a few days afterwards bila live ya leo, hautaelewa, utaona wana overreact. But whatever was spoken today is something that we need to talk about. But I think that's what Rins wanted to say, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, na mimi naomba kuongea. Hi everybody, mwenye kwa hapa na comment section.
Okare ndo alikuwa achukue mic next.
But Magda, I came before Okare.
I don't think so.
Yes.
It's okay, Gloria. Okare is a gentle lady woman, man.
Yes,
mimi nilikuwa kwa hiyo live and I listened to them, na walisema hivi, Wajaluo tuuze omena, wa Somali muuze nguo, walisema Wakisii tuuze miwa polepole, Wajaluo tuuze omena polepole, na Wasomali wauze nguo sijui huko wapi polepole. Thank you.
Nani alisema kila kitu?
Anyway, anybody that wants omena na samaki ni kwa Nelinoelo wada tumwambia tuuze, so wacha tufanye marketing. Ukitaka omena,
nimesha order.
Ukitaka samaki
kwa abundance.
Nilinunua omena kwa abundance. Ilisemekana mademu wa Sapiri wale huko Kisumu tuendefundishwe tuanze kuuza samaki.
Alafu mchele ni kwa nani? Kwa Zela Pishori. She sells amazing Pishori by there from experience.
Na kwa hivyo mchele yetu isinunuliwe ya kina Magda.
Ya kina Magda wana mchele, za kina Zela they have rice. Guys, let me tell you, after all the hula baloo, we know we are still gonna do business with who we do business with. Hizi tu ni hula baloo.
Nywele jamanini ni kwangu.
Na kwa nywele enda mwa heaven watu wa coast, nyinyi mko msiguswe, nyinyi mko sawa, mna shida guys. Nywele tafutini mwa heaven. Watu wale wabaya hapa sana ni dorere. Wacha nisema mera ndio shida. Unasikia? The biggest problem banya yako nayo ni mera. Noreiwa na watu waisili wa Somali. Unaona, that is where the problem is. The rest of you
wa Somali wameguswa pia, na
Somali wameguswa.
Waguse wa Somali waone vile watapigwa moto. Rims, by the way, no hard feelings, it's just the topic that is at hand, so nothing against you, just to let you know.
One thing
just to let you know.
Come on, shout, I'm sorry.
Yeah, by the way, wacheni our polygamous lady, our one and lovely Okari, we love you just like you are. You love the fact that you appreciate women and you love women and keep loving women. Tafadhali chukua microphone.
Gentle.
Thank you, all women here. I mean, I really appreciate all of you as actually said it. I really feel a bit disappointed that we have brought tribalism on this kind of an app. I feel really disappointed. Me being a friend of the judge of the court, I feel a bit really disappointed because LJ has actually extended our hands as far as contributing to all tribes and not even...
Okari, I'm going to stop you right in your tracks. This is not even about LJ anymore, please. I think that horse has been flogged. We are tired of LJ. So let us get back to matters of national importance, okay?
I take my word.
Thank you. Nyinyi mnaramba na mambinembe mkarambiani huko. Si ati kila mali unadhani is about LJ. LJ is a non-factor at all. She's added insult to injury because of her recklessness. Unasikia? Yes. There's a part she's played, but please. Tafadhali. Thank you. Let us talk about matters of national importance.
Matters of national.
Thank you.
Wacha nipige makofi. Kotwe majengo jamani. Kotwe majengo.
I have a question for you, Ati.
Absolutely, anytime, any day. I'm always ready.
Nauliza aje, wewe kama host, unaweza kudrop aje?
Mnaweza ni drop anyhow. Moderator ama ni kidukulu ile nini live ya
interrupting my thoughts, my line of thoughts, please.
No, sorry.
Oh, pole guide kwa fikiri umemaliza.
As you guys know, I'm not a very long speaker, so
you don't take long to come, to drop. Okay, be short.
Okay, so I would like us to actually coexist together as Kenyans. This matter of tribalism has brought us to the situation where we are currently. If we never learn from the past and then we are extending this again in dividing us, I think it's not going to help us. Please, let's coexist together as Kenyans. Guys, let's stop this division.
And for the record, tribalism is a beautiful thing. I'm tribal. I go to my tribal cocoons. Kwanza kusengenya na lugha yako ni tamu sana. It becomes a problem when now it's hateful, when you're spreading hateful. Unaona, you feel you are comfortable. I can now go and spread the seeds of hate. There's nothing wrong with being tribal.
Kusengenya na lugha yangu.
Sasa wewe
basi unapitwaga Magda kusengenya kilugha inakuwaga tamu.
Kuna group ya nini, we have like a Luo specifically.
I thought the mic was mine.
Okay, darling. Okay.
But you're not finishing.
I thought you said you are a man, woman of short words. Okay, continue.
Okay, continue.
So guys, wacha tupendane to this tribalism is going to divide us much more, and then we are heading to the next elections, and we are going to make the worst mistakes again based on tribalism. Like we will have to divide, like whom do we love, whom do we choose, and then we make another bad decision. And it will affect all of us. That's all.
I want to say something before I drop. Let's stop fighting each other, please. There's better things out there that need to be talked about. Stop fighting each other. This is mambo ya sijui 1980s huko. Leave it there. Hiyo tu. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Guys, munifollow. Mniko hapa mnifollow, mimi nauza nywele. Follow me guys. Guys, sisi wa Coastarians ndo hatunaga hizi vitu za nini. Tunapendaga kila mtu na tunapendwa na kila mtu. Hatunaga hizi sijui nini. Yawa.
The same thing like kisses. We have supported other tribes many times. They know themselves. I won't mention. But we always fall victims of circumstances. We always support the right person. There is a time, if you remember, the guy who was called Nyachai, he stood up, but he couldn't even get 2 votes. That tells you like we are not tribal. We could have voted for our own person, but we decided to vote for someone who makes sense. Please guys, let's not divide ourselves and then vote for the wrong person again. Please, guys.
Exactly.
Oh, guys.
I think that let's
talk reality. Let us talk reality, guys. When it comes to politics, there's no wrong or right. Because if you remember last year, 2022, Gachagua was dying for Ruto. Unasikia? So when you talk about politics haitaki emotions. Hizi mambo that the right person, it's usually the right person until they are at the helm. Umesikia? So don't love someone, but do not put your hopes on a politician. A politician is someone who will tell you what you want to hear, okay? But we can come together and talk about peace, so we are able to have, there's nothing as good as peace, guys. Look at all the countries that zimekuwa in war. Let us pray for peace, because politician hakuna kitu cha kupatia as an individual. Unasikia? Hata sasa tupigane, upige huyu, upigane huyu, by the end of the day it's not about you. You are very far the food chain. Wewe uko mbali na hiyo food chain.
I object Ati.
No, Nala, we don't care who is tribal and who is not tribal. Watajua wenyewe hao nini mapolitician.
Yeah, okay, you can talk.
We are not here for Ruto or Gachagua.
The reason why I object Ati, we also should consider someone who has the love of the country at heart. We cannot say a politician is a politician. They can do all the corruption they want, but they should also protect our country. If someone is not protecting our natural resources, someone is not even interested to care about anything. Look at what was the name Wangari Maathai fought for. It's all gone. So should we say a politician is a politician and we just vote in someone who doesn't really care about things that have been protected from our forefathers till today, and just vote
but
in
Okari,
what I'm saying, do not put your emotions because of an individual, because of a politician. I'm saying that we need us as people down here that will suffer the most should something happen, okay? You should not have your emotions fighting one another, hating on someone because you're fighting for someone else's interest. A lot of these so-called politicians will tell you everything. Who knew that Gachagua and Ruto, who knew that Kikuyus will one day be against Ruto? You get my point? So look at it, it's back to square one. Saizi tena Ruto wameshikana na Raila, meaning that Wajaluo watashikana na Wakalenjin, sasa wanza kupigana na Wakikuyu. You get where this is coming from? What I'm telling people is that as a person,
will you guys do it? Will you guys just do it because of Raila?
wa mwanamke mwenzako unaingiza kwa tumbo, una staff ukae ni kama we uko na mimba to protect another woman's baby, because we did not want to see babies being killed.
Diana.
Have you ever been at a place where you have to pick, you have to have a choice whether to save the mother or the child?
Diana, have they experienced a situation where hawa watu wanaingia wanaamua kufanya torture because of ukabila, Diana? Because of
si walikuwa wanaingia skiza, let me tell them so that they get it. This happened in Kisumu. Mtu anaingia kwa nyumba, anabaka mama, alafu anabaka baba, anabaka watoto wake. And you watch your children wakibakwa. Watoto wenye wako below the age of 10 wanabakwa mbele yako. Wakimaliza kubakwa, wanakatwa kama nyama. Na in that whole process, we pia unaambiwa hebu lala na bibi yako tuone vile mnalalanga.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I always tell you guys to read. You don't know why people... Do you people know why Kinaruto walifika ICC? Do you know how and why? Do you know? Do you people even understand why Raila did not get to go to the ICC? Huyo mwenye mnamchukianga hapa, mnamuitanga ati ni mjinga. Yes, ni mjinga. But I can tell you, it was that same Raila that was using whispers kati yetu kama Wajaluo ku send messages of saving the Kikuyu community in Kisumu. Huyo mwenye mnamchukia, vile wakina nani walitoa amri huko ikitoka kwa Wakalenjin ya kwamba mtu yoyote ambaye ni Mkikuyu survive. Huyo mwenye mnamchukia hapa. Unajua you people need to be told some stories zenye mnafaa kusikia. Ndio walitoa hizo dog whispers at night. Ujumbe ikafikia kila nyumba ya kwamba watoto, damu ya watoto isimwagike. Hatutaki laana on our land.
Diana.
Tukaficha watoto, tuliingiza watoto kwa masanduku ya mabati. Tukakalia mabati, masanduku ya mabati. When the group sungu, watu wenye wanatoka Kisumu, mnajua sungu, China squad, walikuwa wanatembea kwa manyumba. Some of you people need to go down the annals of history. Some things we just don't want to say because we don't want to bring some wounds that you don't want to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
Umewahi kuenda sokoni na mwanawake wenzenu, unajaribu kuwaficha kati yenu, ati mpaka tulikuwa tunafundisha Wakikuyu kuongea Kijaluo ndio wajue. Uko kwa nyumba, uko na mtu kwa nyumba, lakini unaogopa hata huyo bwana yako ataenda kukuuza huko nje. You are afraid because you don't know if your husband is going to tell out there that kuna Mkikuyu hapo ndani. Ilikuwa ni kill, kumaliza. Watu walijifunza Kijaluo overnight. What are you saying? And it is that cry of the babies. Iyo cry ya watoto ndio ilifanya huyo Raila Odinga akatumana na usiku wa manane watoto wasiuliwe, watoto wasiwawe. Wanawake walikuwa wanaingiza watoto wa Kikuyu kwa matumbo zao. Wanawake Wajaluo. Na hiyo chuki yote yenye mko nayo. Umewahi kuona nyumba ikichomwa na watoto ndani? Have you ever seen that? The small business women and businessmen that were from the Kikuyu community that thrived in Kisumu, opened up businesses, were being burnt alive. And you sit on a platform and talk to me about GEMA. GEMA makachieth. You don't know what that thing is causing. You don't know what those iyo matamshi yenu yenye mnasema hapa kwa platform. Hamjui what it can cost. Hamjui what it can cost. Unasikia? because that war cry for 207 was so bad, na it caught us all off guard. Watu walipatwa off guard. Unajua election ilifanyika na ikaanza tu boom. A normal day, you're gay after election, people are upset and everything, then darkness. Darkness. So some of you here, if I ask you, go and read. Muone vitu zenye wanawake walifanya. There are women who sacrificed their lives to save children. Some of you would not even be alive today. Kama kwa kukwa na wanawake wenye wali put their lives in line. Kuna wanawake ilibidi tubebe wanawake, unawatoa Kisumu kwa city, unawapeleka nyumbani huko Ahero ama unawapeleka Karachuonyo kwa village. Wanakaa mashambani ndio vitu zipoe. Ndio isionekane, wasijulikane kwa sababu the Kisumu city was burning hot. In Kisumu it was so bad that kama ungekuwa light skin, unaulizwa, mtu anaanza kupiga story na wewe kama wewe bado nini Kijaluo. My husband was very light skinned. I cannot tell you how many times he escaped death because alikuwa anaulizwa. Nani wanaume walikuwa wanatoka nje kwenda kutafuta machakula. We went to look for food in groups. Tulikuwa tunaenda in groups na groups zilikuwa zinatoka at different times kwa sababu hakukuwa na chakula. So kulikuwa na time yenye Wakisii walikuwa wanaleta malori za machakula usiku na machakula zina arrive around 4, zingine zilikuwa zinakuja 2 o'clock, zingine zinakuja asubuhi. So we were changing shifts to go and get food. So for some of us who are unlucky, we decided that ebu tujaribu tuende na huyu na mama nani leo tuone kama yani it will be safe because we are working in a group. Shock on you when you see a woman being singled out. Anaanza kuongelesha Kijaluo. Haezi akajibu.
You guys tap. Dana watu unasikia story yako ni tamu au tap. Wacha Dana mute for a minute. Guys, let's tap tafadhali. The live itaanguka. Tutap tukiwa tunaendelea kusikiza. Sawa. Msilale sana. Najua story ni tamu but don't forget to tap.
Aki please tap tu continue, ndio niliona mlitake break lakini hapa tap please guys. Tunaongea tu story ya 207 please. Tap.
Kwa koti watu waliacha kutapa kichazi. Dana take it up.
Endelea Dana.
So ile mtu anapanda kwa platform anaanza kusema ati anataka kuji-identify na kabila. Mimi when I talk about tribalism, I speak from my heart because I've experienced what tribalism can do and I've told you and I'm repeating it. I am a child of a politician and in my family, I have lost 2 people because of politics. The first person we lost in my family was my uncle Ochieng Ojode. In 1982 coup, akauliwa na Moi. Go and Google, you'll find his name there. That is my father's brother. Kwa 1982 coup. We never even found his body. Alikuwa hanged. We never buried anything. And the second person we lost in my family was Oruo Ojode, my father's brother, in the plane crash. If you Google, you'll even see my pictures, hata videos tukiwa kwa matanga huko. Hata when Ojode's death was first announced, you can go there, you'll see my video there as some of the people wenye walifika kwa nyumba the first time penye alikufa. So anything to do with politics and hate, if there is any family yenye sisi we felt the brunt. Personally as Diana Rose, we've experienced it right in our blood, in our family. Unasikia? So when I talk about tribalism and I talk about Kenyan politics, I talk because it is from experience. See it because I just want to talk. You can go to Kisumu and ask. Go to KMET organizations, go there and ask. Go see their records, they are there. The women, they are there. Our pictures are there. The women that mobilized and worked, plus with other women, Kina Easter, Monica, Judith, Nelly, Aumo Juki, women I will forever respect. Women who sacrificed their lives for other women. Women who chose to be pregnant even when they were not pregnant, to put children in their bellies, to cover them with clothes, to save children from another tribe. And you talk to me about tribalism, ati we ni mtu wa GEMA. I will identify as a Luo, but it's nothing that I will use to put another tribe down. Never, because I've never seen any beauty in it. I do not want to ever think. I do not want to ever think about what happened in 2007. Never. So women were going to buy food in groups. We had shifts for women in the day to go buy food. The men would leave at night to go and look for food at night, because at men walikuwa wana kuleta manyama, makuku, manini, vitu kama hizo. But sasa during the day mamboga na all those things zilikuwa zinaletwa kutoka Kisii. Na watu wa Kalenjin pia hapo Homa Hills walikuwa naleta vitu huko. So tulikuwa kwa mipaka. So mkitoka mnatoka kwa group, lakini mkiwa huko njiani lazima mtakutana na hizo the groups of the bandits and the young men. Wamebeba panga. Wanaanza kuongelesha Kijaluo. Ukishindwa kujibu, unatolewa katikati ya group. You know? Have you ever had to teach yourself how to help women? Yani mwanamke mwenzako anataka kuzaa. Hujawahi kuzalisha mwanamke, lakini utajifunza kuzalisha mwanamke. Because that is the only thing you have. Na there was no shame, even if your children were there. Mtoto anakuja, mtoto anatoka. There's nothing you can do. You're gonna help her. Na hiyo time hakukuwa na the craze ya Google, hatukuwa nayo. Itabidi utumie kichwa yako. And yes, many women died. Because we just didn't know how to save them. Some died bleeding. Some the children died because ilikuja watoto wakaanguka chini, ama kwa sababu ya baridi. The ones we could save, we saved. Again, I'm saying it. Before you scream and you beat the drums of tribe anywhere, come and tell me if you ever walked in through the results of tribalism. Tell me what you did in 2007. Huwezi pata mtu mwenye ali experience Kiambaa kanisa ikichomeka na watu ndani akisimama kwa platform akiongelelea tribalism. Huwezi. You can never. You will never find a person that saw people being removed from cars, manisa na wakitolewa wakikatwa mashingo, akikuja kukaa kwa platform akisema ati yeye ni mtu wa GEMA. Hata kama ni mtu wa GEMA hawezi taka. That's why I've said most of you people that are talking about GEMA here. How old were you in 2007? How old were you in 1992 tribal clashes? I remember I was in class 4. And I'm repeating this story because most of you are not taught history well. In 1992 tribal clashes, when the Kisis, the Kalenjins and the Luos were clashing in Nyanza, the reason why the tribal clashes started in 1992 was an exchange at a market. Women, Mukisi na Mjaluo waligombana kwa soko. Hiyo ugomvi ikatoka kwa soko ikaingia kwa manyumba zao, chuki ikagrow, and the men planned to attack in the night. They started attacking by attacking the property and the cattle and everything that they could attack kwa Wakalenjin, and they retaliated na Wakisi. Umesikia? Na tukaanza kupelekwa kwa shule na mapolisi. Wale watu walikuwa wabaya because walikuwa wanaoperate na mishale, wanaua polisi na mishale, alafu wanachukua bunduki zao, alafu wanatumia bunduki kwa anybody. And if there's any of you who is in Homa Bay can remember the young boy called Oseo when we were walking from school. And the bandits showed up from the middle of nowhere when we were being escorted from school. I will never forget that day. From nowhere, mishale kidogo kidogo, bunduki, and the last thing I saw, niliona bunduki imepiga matako ya Oseo, ni kama ili split open mbele yetu. Siwezi sahau. Horrific scene. Tulikimbia, hatukujua hata tunaelekea wapi. Mpaka polisi walikimbia, walituacha. Unakimbia, unaingia ndani ya mahindi, unaingia popote because you are running for your life. And that time you are in class 4. You are in class 4, guys, and you are running. So most of you here, I've always said it. Na mnasemanga na kuanga na madharau because nawaambianga msome. Take your time. Enda usome about the tribal clashes in Kenya. Go to the right resources. Go to the annals where these things are kept and you go and read. Go to Amnesty International website. Go and read. So you understand what exactly happened. Seeds of hate are sown on social media, are sown in radio stations, are sown by people who hold platforms just like Githaiga, Jacqueline, and everybody, even Beauty, even Diana Ross. Being a Luo is not a crime. Being a Kikuyu is not a crime. The crime is using your tribe to spew hate and divisiveness. That is the crime. Using your tribe to show superiority. Using your tribe to look down on other people. That is the crime. And let me tell you, tribalism in Kenya is taught in home. It is not something that we are taught outside of our homes. You teach your children hate, they will grow up with hate. They will know that Kikuyus are their enemies. Tribalism is taught in our homes. So if you want a generation that is safe and is free and is good and is free from segregation and hate, you start teaching your children the right things. Liz Soni, at if Kikuyu meets and talks is tribal. Yes, if Kikuyu meets and talk tribal things, we'll call them out. That is what I'll tell you. If a Kikuyu sits on a platform and says that buy from a Kikuyu and not from another tribe, we will call that out because that is tribalism. Meskia? And that kind of reasoning is why we call out tribalism. Na wacheni niwaambie ukweli yenye mnafaa kujua. Jacqueline hakufanya tribalism. Because mnasema eti Jacqueline alianza tribalism. Mimi, I don't like Jacqueline, but when there's something she's done right or wrong, I will always say it. Jacqueline did not start tribalism. She never called for tribalism on her platform. Jacqueline simply used her community to elevate herself. You don't know that? You people allowed yourself to be on her platform, to be used and abused. That is what happened. You showed up on her platform. And so she used that opportunity to elevate herself and give herself visibility. She used your numbers and she used your vulnerability to elevate herself. That is what you people are refusing to understand. She used her greed. Umeelewa? Na ni nyinyi ndio mlijiweka pale. Unaona? Nyinyi ndio mlijiweka pale. Na si mwanaume amenichosha. I'll talk to you later. Mpigia simu aje. Unasikia? Nyinyi ndio mlijiweka hapo. let us now be reasonable and factual. If the Kikuyus did not show up on Jacqueline's platform and not give the support that they gave to her, would we be here today? Tusemeni ukweli. Because kesi inaweza fika kwa platform ya mtu yoyote. But if they did not give her that kind of attention, wacha tuseme tu kweli, would she be there today? Where she is today? Would she have used you guys? Because Jacqueline has even said it with her mouth many times. I am very grateful to Njugu Karanga because Njugu Karanga gave me a lot of, visibility here on TikTok. She has always said it, that she's very grateful. Ali said. So you gave her that power and you had the opportunity. And that's why I'm saying that there is no Luo that can go to Jacqueline's platform to take out their cases there. Ile kitu ingefanyika ingekuwa kwetu. Ungeona Mjaluo angepanda pale angesema no. Hii kesi ndio imefika hapa lakini sisi tunaenda kusort out our issues. Hakuna vile wangekubali iendelee for 2 weeks. Mulifanya Njugu Karanga for 2 weeks and you people sat there enabling her, tapping for her, subscribing. Mpaka Jacqueline kulikuwa na mahali anawafungia comments, anaweka subscriber only. Na muna subscribe. Mukitaka kusikia vile mwanaume mwenzenu hawezi akalala na bibi yake. Kwa sababu wako na ugonjwa ya sukari. Mulikaa pale, shosho ya Chira masuruali zake zikiletwa za red, Jacqueline akidisplay ati ni exhibit. What is the core of our values? What happened to us? Now most of the guests, can we go back to history? Beauty, you are bloggers. Can you tell me, murudi kwa history ya Arnold za Jackie na live zake, vile alikuwa anafanya live ya Njugu Karanga, muniambie ni Wajaluo wangapi walipanda hapo kumsupport? Come back and tell me. Muniambie ni Mjaluo yupi alikaa kwa platform ya Jacqueline kusupport Jacqueline. Ebu just tell me. Let's be realistic now. Ni wangapi? Beauty, did you see?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. Unaona?
Tunasema Don King.
Don King ni mtu mwenye ana mbele wala nyuma. Don't talk to me about Don King. I'm talking about people who are reasonable. Who is Don King? Surely. Don King ni mtu wa njaa. Huyo ni mtu hata sahi anaweza amua kusema yeye ni Mkikuyu ndiye apate pesa kwa Wakikuyu. What are you talking to me about Don King? That's not the issue, people with reason.
Yeah.
Unaona? Si walifunga mpaka comments at some point.
All of a sudden ilibidi yo mtu Don King ama Don King. Si wakati alikujanga TikTok alisema, hiyo wakati ilikuwa Chira alikuwa anasema you know I don't know Swahili. Sasa ilibidi all of a sudden huyo mtu anaitwa you Don ndio Don huyo. Ati amejua Kiswahili. Mpaka nikajua sema ajui Kiswahili.
Unajua? Lazima ujue kama mtu anakutumia. Unajua Chahazi ilifika mahali Jacqueline alianza kusema jina yake ni Shiro. Guys, ama ninadanganya?
Na wewe kwani unaongelelea kwa shimo?
Si mimi ama nani?
Chahazi yako so deep.
Ilibidi Jacqueline akue Shiro, and she did that because she was whipping up and getting your attention. See, that's what she did. Mbona hukuona Jacqueline akisema yeye ni Adhiambo at that time? Because alikuwa anawatumia you guys. Na vile tuliwaambia mkasema, Diana Rosa kuna wivu, hataki Jacqueline apate visibility, kwa sababu Jacqueline ndiye kuna views sahi. Guys, now you see what this has brought. Aliwatumia, akawa abuse. Alafu sasa the end result is that the Kikuyu community is alienating itself, but it's alienating itself for the bad, not for the good. Munasema mnatoka kwake lakini hamjatoka kwa uzuri. Mnatoka kwa ubaya. Mnaanza ku whip up tribal war cards, which is not looking good on you as a community. That is what she has managed to do with you guys. Akasema atawagawa 50-50. Murima tunagawa. Wale watu wote wenye walienda kubomoa makanisa ya Peter K, muliona Mjaluo huko? Kuna Mjaluo anaweza, hebu wacheni tu niwaulize, I'm just asking in a good way. Do you think there is a Kikuyu that can open a platform, hata Githaiga aseme kanisa ya Mjaluo ichomwe na ichomeke? Hebu mnijibu hapo comment section. Mnafikiria Githaiga anaweza fungua platform sahi na aseme kanisa ya Mjaluo ichomwe Nyanza na ichomeke? Hebu mniambie kama mniambie tu your honest opinion. Is it possible? Is it possible?
No, it's not possible.
Yeah. So shida iko hapo mahali. There is a problem. Even Jacqueline herself cannot make a call for a church in Luo Nyanza to be banned. Hawezi. Before hiyo kanisa ichomeke, yeye mwenyewe ndiye atapatikana hayuko. Sikudanganya. So mi kitu naweza kuambia kama watu wa Murima, this is a time for reflection for you guys. Go back, reflect upon what has happened on this platform. Think about what has happened and now fix yourselves. Nyinyi wenyewe. Jumi ninajua hii TikTok. Munaongea saa hii, munapiga kelele, munalia, lakini kesho Jacqueline akileta kesi na alete kesi na Mkikuyu, mutajaa pale.
Yeah. Tuenda kutap huko.
Yeah. Walikuwa na tap mpaka 5 million. What? Na wana subscribe. Na wana gift.
Hapo kwa kutapa mtapa section wako.
Sasa wacha nikuulize. Sasa wacha nikuulize. Hata asking the right question. Saa hii Jacqueline alifika Kenya. Peter K hajashikwa. Hakuna victim mumeona police report yake. Hakuna victim mumeona anything yake. Lakini Jacqueline anatumia hao wote, anaenda kwa radio stations. Guys, are you people okay?
Well, she never went to the radio station actually.
There is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with the Kikuyu supporting Jacqueline. But don't support, a platform that does not have your interest at heart. Jacqueline told you point blank that amewatumia na mumemsaidia. Story ya Njugu Karanga imemsaidia. Did she not tell you? Si aliwaambia kwa Hussein? Sahi anatembea na victims, watoto wenu. Anaenda kutembea na victims kwa radio stations. Kuelevate herself again. Remember, victims hawajapata anything kuhusu report. There is nobody that has been arrested. Sasa ni nani anaumia hapa? Ni nani anaumia? Ni nyinyi. So as a community, you have to check yourself. Nyinyi tu, you did not ask the right questions to Jacqueline. There is nothing wrong with going to a platform. You can go as many times as you want, but ask the right questions that also leave you as a community with dignity.
Yeah.
Put her accountable. Mweke akuwe accountable. Unajua? Kama sahi mulileta Njugu Karanga. Sahi Triza bada yuko kwake, Triza hayuko na watoto wake. Sasa mulifanya kesi gani hapo? At the end of the day, she's making you look like ni watu wenye mko interested only in money, because what did you achieve in that platform? 1 million ndo ilichangwa. Triza hayuko kwake, hajapata divorce. Watoto wake pia hawako. So what is it that you guys were solving? So it's a time for you guys to reflect upon yourselves. Hiyo tu ndio ninaweza nikawaacha nayo. But most of you here hamjui what tribalism can do. That is why mnaongea vile mnaongea. Sisi wenye tuli experience tribalism, we know what tribalism can do. Triza has been empowered and she cannot live with her children. That is low IQ thinking. Camel Dio. Ndio maana nakwambia kuwa na IQ, an empowered woman has the resources to be with her children. Kama uko empowered unakaa na watoto wako. That is what I'll tell you. So,
Hi, mambo.
Wacha ni mute Joe aongee. Thank you, hata umefanya vizuri kukuja.
Mambo, nilikuwa nitakupatia flashback. Habari zenu, sorry, niko na haraka. Nilikuwa nasema nakumbuka ile time watu walikuwa wamechanga do ile pesa ya shule, alafu watu kaanza kuitisha for accountability. Alafu akatika trip to Kenya. Wakati alikuja Kenya hata hakuwa na shughuli, mara alikuwa Mombasa akiadvertise ile nyumba, sijui nimesahau hizo housing alikuwa anafanya advertisement. Mara ameenda Nairobi, mpaka watu wa magazeti wakaleta drones kwa hizo nyumba, kwa hizo nini, kwa hiyo shule alikuwa anajenga, because alikuwa anasema ameenda for the purpose of kuonyesha watu the accountability of that money they changada. Watu kwenda kuangalia mitaro zimejaa maji karibu zikae kama swimming pool. Huko machuma zimelala, sijui mawili baro zimepata kutu. So I think that is not the first thing. Watu wange learn from the beginning, and I'm sure the people who wamejoin hivi karibuni hawajui vile DJ vizuri. Wenye walikuwa kitambo na wenye walifanya the first mchango, because she's very convincing. Hata kina JB alisema she was also convinced. So the best thing, watu ambao wamekuja saizi wasidanganywe na kizungu yake na too much kuongea na kujigamba. Yeah, that's what I had to remind you about the last time she went to Kenya because of building the school, and she never did a thing. She was always in it Odari Homes, yeah. Alikuwa anashinda huko Mombasa akiadvertise Odari Homes. Mpaka watu wakaanza kumuuliza umekuja for the sake of kuendeleza hiyo shule. Alikuwa anasema ati atafanya foundation na kuna kitu alifanya. So the same thing is repeating itself. Thank you for your time.
Thank you Zoe, I appreciate you.
Mimi nilikuwa nataka kuongezea kusema kama kweli ilikuwa sauti iko sawa. Ndio nisiambie nitoke kwa choo comment section. Sasa nilikuwa nataka kusema kama kweli ilikuwa wameamua tu kujiondoa, cause umejua hiyo issue by the way ya kupeleka kesi hapo kotini ndio ilileta hii mambo yote. So kama ilikuwa tu watu wameamua tumefunguka macho, hii mambo tumefanya by the way tumefanya mistake, wacha tujiondoe. Cause mimi niliwaambia from the beginning. Nikaambiwa vizuri, narudia tena, nilikuwa nimeenda tu Shago kutafuta mashosho. Niliwacha ikiwa story ya mashosho. Sasa kuleta mashosho, naenda kutafuta ushago nikusanye mashosho nilete wasaidike. Nikaenda nikaandikisha mashosho, kurudi napata story imechange. Ni ya Muraya, sijui Muraya. Sasa Muraya akimaliza pia Muraya amemaliza sijui na Triza. Naona tena imeondoka, imetoka kwa Muraya. Imeenda wapi? Imeenda kwa alikuwa Carol ama alikuwa nani? Because wewe tukienda kotini tena tukapata imeenda kwa Carol tena. Sasa unashangaa kotini mara iko huku. So nikasema hii mambo ya views pia inakuanga kwa hii TikTok na mboka inakuanga na mambo mingi sana. Mpaka imeleta watu wachukiane bure. Unaona? Hii mambo ya mboka TikTok na views na nini imeleta watu wachukiane bure, kwa sababu wakati unasema hata kitu yenye ni mzuri, no one is ready to listen to you. Because mimi I was looking at it na nashanga, kitambo watu walikuwa kikosana, haukuwa wanakuja TikTok. Kulikuwa na njia mzuri ya kusoti watu wakikosana hata kwa ndoa. Unaona? So, kitu kizuri ulikuwa unajiuliza pia, hata wakati mnataka kusoti kesi. Tuseme hata kesi ya ndoa. So ulisikia mimi nikikuuliza ile siku nyingine Beauty. Kesi ya ndoa pia ilikuwa inatafutanga watu pia wako pia kwa ndoa, ama wako na hiyo experience, ama wako na kitu kama hiyo, wanasema wakina fulani watatusaidia kusoti history. Si ni ukweli? Haikuanga tu just everybody atanimio alafu anini. So ikakuwa hivyo, imefika hapa. Tukakuwa sasa tunaenda kunini huko kwa maandamano. Kutoka kwa maandamano tunapata mambo imechange all of a sudden. So mimi nasema kama kuna ile sasa mtu alikuwa ameamua kujipatia self reflection. That is so nice. Watu wajipatie self reflection, then we walk ahead watu wote bila ukabila, bila anything. Tusitupe hii nini ya ukabila, mbegu ya ukabila ya kuleta ati tribalism. Tusilete hiyo mbegu ya tribalism. Let's walk together all of us now that we are together, to walk together vile tumekuwa tukitembea pamoja. Because sasa when you tukichukua sasa ikue sasa we are walking like kila kabila iwalk kivyake na kila kabila ichukie kabila ingine, tutakuwa tunaleta mbegu si nzuri. Na hii app ya TikTok ilikuwa app nzuri sana, kwa sababu tulikuwa tunangojea tuungane wote pamoja. Hata ingefika 2027 tunaambiana tunaenda wapi na tunaenda wote. Because hii TikTok mlikuwa mkiamua kufanya kitu hatujui kabila ya mtu ni gani. Unaona? Na hiyo ni kitu mzuri sana when you work with a brother or a sister bila hata kutaka kujua kabila yake. ni gani?
Not
Unaona?
necessary.
Yeah. Working together can't happen. Yeah, this working together cannot happen. Lakini mimi najua si Wakikuyu wote watatupa a tribalism card.
That's true.
Let me talk to the remaining part of the Kikuyus, because hata ukienda mahali hiyo mambo inaongelewa, kuna wakina Shiko na Wakikuyu wengine wenye they are not throwing that card. Hiyo kadi ya tribalism ni kuambie ati mtu anaweza taka, alafu sasa watu wenye waje experience they can still throw the card. Lakini watu wenye sisi tume experience mambo ya tribalism, mtu wako ameshikwa, watu wakaingia kwa nyumba wakambaka kuanzia mtoto wa kwanza mpaka last born, wakabaka wote na bado wakaua. Imagine watu wanaingia kwenu wanabaka watu wote na bado wanaua. Mpaka unajiuliza sasa, mbona wabaka hata watoto wenye wamezaliwa wa miaka 2 alafu wamuue? Hiyo ndo tribalism. So we can say hiyo kadi ya tribalism tunawachia watu wako kuona mambo ilifanyika 2007. When you don't have that experience, we are leaving to you that card, because hata tuseme nini, you will still throw the card. So please, you just throw the card, because hii TikTok inakuanga inafikanga mahali inakuwa kila mtu anaamua vile anataka. So hata mkiamua tuseme tunakataa tutaki, there's somebody somewhere anaona tribalism ndio kitu mzuri na yeye. There's nothing we can do, because mtu utasema hii account ni yangu, kila kitu ni yangu. But at the end of the day, sisi wenye tume experience, mimi siwezi hiyo throw card ya tribalism. Niseme ati mimi half caste ya Mkikuyu, half caste ya Muluya, sasa naenda GEMA, niseme Waluya wajipanga ama niseme kabila fulani. No, mimi I cannot throw that card. The only people who will throw this card ni wale wenye hawaku experience anything. They will throw this card off, sasa tufanye hivi. Na unaona? Na hii hasira mahali imetokea pale, na hii hasira ilikuwa self reflection yenye everyone angejiweka tu line na tusonge. Unaona? So mimi kitu nasema, kuna hata wakina Mwangi Kuria namuona hapa comment section. Na huyu ni mtu mwenye they are not throwing that card. Alafu utapata watu wengine wana throw hii card, they are not in Kenya. Wana throw card ya tribalism na hao wenyewe wako Kenya. Hata hawatakuwa hiyo wakati Kenya naungua, huyo mtu hatakuwa hapo. Ana throw hii card akijua vizuri ako kwingine, ako Canada, ako US, ako wapi, lakini anasema tribalism lazima iendelee. Unaona? Anakuambia huyu jirani yako mwenye anauza kibanda, mwenye umekuwa ukinunua kwake hata unakopa saa zingine na kukopesha, huyo Muluya ama mkabila gani, usichukue kwake. Unaona? Huyo ni mtu anakuthoria hii card, na hiyo card yeye hayuko. Umejua tena nyinyi kuna watu tuko kwa ground, kuna mtu hayuko kwa ground. As they throw this card, pia wewe jiulize, the person throwing me this card, the person mwenye ananiambia nichukue panga tukatane na mwenzangu, where is this person? Anaenda kuhusika. Unaona? Maandamano ilionekana rahisi sana kwa watu wakati, hata wacha nitoe example ya mtu kama Lady J. Bila wakati alikuwa majusi, maandamano ilionekana rahisi. But ukishafika kwa ground, si rahisi vile mtu unafikiria. It's not easy. Kitu yoyote na text step kama hiyo is not easy. So wewe mwenye unathrowiwa pia kadi ya tribalism, kaa chini kama wewe mwenyewe pia, reflect as yourself. Jiuliza, hata mimi naanza kuchukia huyu Chahazi amenifanyia nini? Because tribalism inaletanga you hate everybody. You will have to hate now everybody. Hata mwenye hajakosea, provided is not your tribe, you will have to throw that card of that hate. Itakuingia, chuki itakuingia tu. Utajisikia wewe upendi mtu fulani. So please, let's try to reflect on this thing. Let's try to reflect on this thing. Kama huku uwawia familia yako yuko uwawa 207, ukabaki peke yako. Kama familia yako yuko bako ukiona 207, please continue throwing the tribalism card, and may God forgive you, because you don't know what you are saying and you don't know what you are doing. Sisi wenye tuliona, we are not going. Mimi mwenyewe personally, I'm not going to throw that card. Hey, thank you.
So there is a comment that was down there, Mr. When Luos have meeting, it's okay, but GEMA. I think American Ben 10, it's about the agenda. It's not about meeting and talking in your own language. How many lives do you meet like in the middle of the night? Unapatanga Wakisii wameshikana, wa US wanaongea Kikisii, unapita kwengine unapata Wakikuyu wanaongea, Wakamba wanaongea, and it's not an issue. You know, and there's nothing so bad about it. Like, nobody has even ever called it out, unless if you just want to be nosy and you're like, guys, ongeeni Kiswahili tunataka kusikia. The agenda in those meetings, sometimes they're even non-agendas. Like, watu kwa watu wanapiga stories zao, but they're like, you know what, we miss speaking our dialect, so wacha tuongee lugha ya nyumbani. So the agenda is the problem. When these people meet up right now at Mbanya's platform, wakienda kuongea hiyo lugha yao wenye wanaongea, the agenda that they are carrying is not a good agenda. So that's where the problem is coming from. So it's not about, nobody's against people speaking their language. Sasa ukizunguka kuna live yenye utapata hata wanaongea Kikamba na hata utaelewa, and utashinda kwa comment section ukiwaitisha waongee Kiswahili and they won't, but hao wako stories zao. Because what's the need of having a tribe wenye uwezi ongelelea lugha na mtu mwingine? So I think the agendas in these meetings, problem iko hapo. Problem iko kwa agenda, like what they're talking about. It's not about people coming together to speak one language. And if that's what some people interpret tribalism to be, then I think you need to listen more. Also in different platforms. Because nimeona watu wengine interpretation yao pia tribalism iko different. But then it's about the agenda. It's not about people having to sit down and speak the same language. Come on. Najua. Yeah. So let me see what's going on. Hold on a minute.
Mbanya ana hasira.
Chahazi.
Niliona Boscan lakini sikujua ni Boscan. Boscan lakini sikuwa nimejua ni Boscan. Nilitoka pale mimi sauti nasikia mpaka nikashangaa ako kwa Mbanya ama ako wapi. Lakini niliona profile imeweka usiguse Murima. Sasa kuangalia vizuri nikapata ni Boscan ndio MC, yani ndio anasema pea fulani mic. Na mwenye anapea mic anaongea kwa lugha ya nyumbani. Lakini yeye anasema pea fulani mic, sasa tunaenda kwa fulani, lakini yeye pia ni ni wagema. Sasa na mimi ilibidi pale nicheke. Na watu waliniuliza unacheka nini? Lakini I was laughing at Boscan. Majirani mimi amenishangaza. So nikatamani wish ningekuwa kwa hiyo live mapema.
Yeah.
Nijaribu kusikiza alianzaje, yani alijiwelcome aje, aliingia akasema aje. Ndio nitaenda kwa FYP nitafute how did he.
Ati vile aliingia kwa issue, alipanda tu kwa platform ya Githaiga. Vile Githaiga alifungua live yake sasa yenye sasa ilikuwa imewaka moto. Boscan I think was the first person kuingia hata before 10,000 taps. Sasa alafu Githaiga akamwambia kaa hapo usitoke. Hivyo tu ndo Boscan akakuwa tu mtu wa Murima.
Hivyo ndio
I'm kidding guys. I mean hivyo ndo alijoin your story.
Wacha nikwambie Boscan alinikumbusha Kolo wakati anaonaga huku kumedhoka na torokanga anaenda anafungua live yake. Anakani kama
sasa hiyo kitu tumeisema hapa. Githaiga kifight na wewe kwake na aone amedraw numbers, anatokanga na namba zake, anaenda na alitoka kwa koti, watu wakatoka sijui 5k huko wakarudi mpaka 1.1. Huku naye kwake ako na 3.4.
Hakuna mtu anajua cooperate kwa TikTok kama Kolo. Mimi nataka pale siku hizi aliniandika
si Kolo naongelelea nani? Naongelelea anaitwa nani? Githaiga. Kolo tasijamsikia kwa hiyo story hiyo time kulikuwa kwa
wewe unajua Githaiga, mimi najua mwenye anaitwa Kolo. Wewe hujajua Kolo pia. Kuna mwingine anaitwanga Kolo. Alikuwa rafiki yangu wakati alikuwa hajakuwa kwa mambo mingi sana.
Nimefikiria ni huko Kolo mmoja.
Si ni huyu mmoja. Huyu mmoja mwenye ako na wife beautiful huyu.
Huyu anakuanga kwake ni kusmart.
Huyu.
Bibi yake naye kama kuna mtu ako na bibi yako responsible na anaweka nyumba neat, ni huyo bibi yako apewe flowers zote. Huo msichana ni msafi yani ni msafi kweli kweli.
Very beautiful.
Organized hata kwake. Hata unajua kama tungekuwa tunasema ati wanajaribu kupretend huu jamaa ukuanga live kila siku, like unajua it's the same house every day, so wezi sema ati huwa anafanya ile kustage tu ati ikae kama iko smart, unaona? Kwake kuko hivyo, kumekuwa hivyo ever since tuanze kukuona na hakujawahi kuchange. That lady is a good lady, she's doing a good job.
Anafanya kazi poa. Hata nijiuliza siku moja wakati mgeni alikuja, huyo lady alikuwa wapi? Kwa sababu unajua kuna wakati pia mgeni alikuja huko kwa koloni, nikajiuliza huyo alikuwa ameenda wapi mgeni? Mpaka saa hii mpaka naogopa inaweza kuwa chai, lakini najiulizanga swali mpaka saa hii.
Wacha kudigi hizo story. Unataka watu waanze kudigi hizo stories, zitaanza kuhatu mama.
Sawa basi. Wacha tufungie hapo. Sasa oi cheke.
Ukianza kudigi hizo story, watu wataanza kuzileta, alafu vile odem siku hizi anaonekana kwa kamera nini.
Most tunajua vizuri sana the people who are suffering more are Kikuyus, and Kikuyus don't love each other, and that is why Gachagua came back after impeachment akakuja kukusanya wa Kikuyu ndio apate support, na before ni sisi alikuwa ametukana akituambia ati juu tulichagua sijui tulikuwa wapi hatuna shares hiyo government. Akakuja tena tumsikilie huruma akasema ni tribal, akatuonyesha venye tunaingililiwa sisi wa Kikuyu, ni sisi tunamalizwa na hakuna kitu. So I will tell you this because I'm also a Kikuyu. Kikuyus are so selfish, so stop supporting something that you've not benefited in. Just because ulizaliwa Mkikuyu, you need to coexist with other tribes, and we need to be one Kenyan. We need to be the ones kwa hizi platform kuonyesha watu that it is wrong when one of us anakosea. You know, we have platforms, let us proclaim Kenyanism. You know, because these governments zenye tunashinda tukipinpoint zimefanya watu wanasuffer. That is why some of the Kenyans are suffering outside Kenya in terms of kutafuta a better life for themselves, and we are supposed to be in our country, growing our country, living in our resources, and to enjoy the benefits of our country. Another thing, this GEMA or this Kikuyu didn't fight for the whole country, they were fighting for their own land. So even my great grandfather fought for it, but I can't say that ati babu yangu alipigania Kisumu. No, they were fighting for their land because hao ndio walikuanga slaves. And kama Mkikuyu alipigania inchi na tukapata uhuru, we are supposed to coexist sisi wote. If you tell me that I'm supposed to go buy from a Kikuyu and I'm also a business woman, ati ninangojea wa Kikuyu, trust you me, nitakufa njaa. I'm a salesperson and I sell to everybody, and I can tell you for sure kazi yangu ni percentage kidogo that Kikuyus wana support. Hizi zingine ni hawa wengine, na siwezi kesho amka niende kuambia ati Mbanya alisema sasa nianze kuuzia wa Kikuyu na Mkisia atafanya aje na anani promote. We need to start come up with things that we look for solutions. Let us heal our countries. You know, I was in one platform tukianalyze. I saw a lady there akisema ati guy yake hao wanaongea maneno ya 207. Mi bado ninakumbuka venye tulifanywa. Ati ninasikia tu bands za kanisa venye zilikuwa zinachomeka. What are we doing? What are we doing? I was in school, I might not have experienced what happened in 207, but there's somebody who experienced it. There was somebody who was there. There's a mother who lost her child. There's a father who lost her whole family in that kanisa. Instead of us looking for solutions, tunakuja hapa kusema GEMA for GEMA. And Makiu hao wa Kikuyu ndio wanakufanga wote. Ndio wanakufanga wengi. Because they don't support each other. If we start looking about the roots, about who and who, these Kikuyus suffer and nobody comes for them. Angalieni biashara mingi. You will find Mkisia akiandiko kazi anavuta Wakisi wenzake. Mjaluo akiwa na position anavuta Wajaluo wenzake. But Mkikuyu akiwa kwa position na huyo Mkamba mwenzake wanakuchomea unavutwa kazi. So don't come up with atina narrative ya Wakikuyu wanapendana. Let us come together and build a country and start looking for a root. Root gani? There is nothing root. Kama baba yako alipigania nchi, alipigania hiyo shamba yenye anaishi. That is what alikuwa anafaitia, and if at all alifaitia country, hakuna mtu alimweka gana akapigania nchi. He did it because he wanted freedom, you know. So don't even erupt vidonda zina heal. Let us all look for solutions. Javan has given you sense, and I don't understand why you can't even understand it, and I'm sorry for being rude. Let us look for solutions. In Kikuyu tunasemanga reketwethe kihonia tigotida haha. Okay, ukiuka GEMA for GEMA. There are people suffering and there are people who've not healed. There's a family there's a person who lost their whole family. Ginyomo Thio Yohana family because 207 alichomekewa, 207 aliuliwa. Madhare wa Kikundi ubomolewa. Kwa nini GEMA iendange kuwasaidia? Dandora watoto wa Kikundi wanakufa na pombe. Kwa nini amwendange kusaidia watoto? Ndio tuseme wa Kikuyu wakishikana wanaendanga kusalimia certain nini. Let us be serious. Na wewe Njogi Mwethaga uko na bahati mimi si moderator hapa, because I don't understand what you're saying mkiwa na Amos. You people are the worst, and labda mko mahali mna suffer and this game of you cannot even come through for you. Let us be serious and start to fikirie and look for a solution. Let us look for a healing. Let us reason. Si ati kuambie una mislead watu hapa. We are looking for a solution. We want a better country. We want a solution for a better country where my child kesho ata exist na Mluya, mahali kesho ata exist na somebody else. So let us be grown ups. GEMA for once. Hata mna dadu. No una type naonapo wana gloria.
Thank you very much Black Forest. Unaongea ukweli.
I don't know that. Wale wana shout. Okay. Wale wana shout GEMA for GEMA, wengine naona hapo wameka namba za simu hapo kwa bio. Wanataka wanunuliwe unga. GEMA for GEMA, simkule GEMA. Let's live together as Kenyans bana. We are brothers and sisters, acheni ujinga. Some of us are living outside the country and we are being treated better than tunakuwa treated equally na rangi yetu ni tofauti. Sembuse nyinyi wakoloni wanatutreat fairly, wacha niseme fairly, alafu tukao wazungu ni nini. Na sahi hapo Kenya mnataka kuuana juu ya kuuza mchele na maziwa. Shame on you. Shame on you kabisa. This GEMA thing is just promoting tribalism, and we won't understand it. We won't allow it. Let's say no to tribalism. It doesn't build. Yes. Okay. It doesn't build. Tuache kufikiria backward kama wale washosho wetu. Ati maziwa kama si ya Wakikuyu mtu asinunue mchele Mwea. Huyu miskara ako hapa mwenye napeaga platform, nilipea platform akauza hapa. Sorry. Si mchele anatoaga Mwea, atoagi Mwea akiuza, na siye ni Mjaluo. Wakati ameuza sijauzia Wakale, sijauzia Waluya na Wakisi. Sijauzia mpaka Wakikuyu wenyewe. Acheni ujinga bana. Kama hii ndio Okay, which one? I'm sorry. Ferrari.
Wewe Amos unakaa mtu mzima sana, sijui ni nini na kusumbua na JB. If this platform is not helping you, stop insulting her. You're very stupid. Huyu Amos, I wish ningekuwa moderator hapa nikuonyeshe. Hauna akili. Akanyonyesha ananyonyesha mtoto wake juu ako na akili. Wewe uko hapo unasema GEMA na hata hakuna kitu imekusaidia. Shame on you.
Nimekuwa nikiwaacha si nini, nimekuwa add moderator. Na waacha na waangalia moderator, nimeko na watu 30. Na kwa watu 30 kuna kabila zote ndani, kuna Wakikuyu, kuna Wakisi. Kwanza Wakikuyu ndio wengi. Alafu mko hapa mnatuambia ukabila. We are brothers and sisters bana, acheni ujinga. The fact that you explained mkasema hii GEMA thing, unajua ile kitu ilifanya I'm taking home. What provoked us is when you started going deeper into explaining what GEMA stands for. Okay, ongea kwanza nishughulikie mtoto.
Yeah, JB Black Forest, which has really come out strongly. She has emphasized that let's reason. I love that. And Javan, thank you also for amplifying all those points. Black Forest, you talk like 100 people or thousands people, and mimi nakuaminianga. Just keep that spirit. You change it. We always resonate together. And you touch by kusema it's a time to listen. Tusema watu wenye hatuna hata ile ile God alitupea, si lazima university ama college. Things we need
right for me
with each other.
I find this tribalism thing ikiwa so backward.
Amesema just reason.
So yeah, me I've done this one. I talk about it all the time whenever we have this topic of tribalism. Me I've been a business person when I was back at home, and hakuna tribe ilininua kama Wakikuyu na Wajaluo. So all this noise ya sijui nini GEMA for GEMA, I don't understand it. Of course they never helped me for free. Hawakunisaidia free. We did business together and they supported me. Alafu niamke leo nisikia ati GEMA for GEMA, ati mchele tununulia, ati sijui wakule mchele yao maziwa yao, nikuwa hapa nikipiga makofi. Yes.
And those you just said, JB, let's listen. For example, Javan, juzi wakati ameuliwa and the political class wakaenda kukaa kwa meza kuchukua ma position. I come from Kakamega County where Oparanya was the governor. He was awarded a post. Me as a Kenyan, as a lawyer, what benefit did I even benefit from that guy being given that post? Nothing. In fact, when he came to Kakamega, alitusi akasema yeye mnataka ni condemn Ruto na yeye amenipea chakula na kula iko kwa mdomo yangu. Mnadhania I'm stupid. And the moment he also joined Ruto, imagine that the time EACC stopped following him because akona scandals, kuna some of our money that he stole. So Javan and the rest, this game we are into it. Mtu asidhania mtu, mimi nataka leader mwenye Javan saa hii cost wakati wa December, wakati Waluya Wajaluo wanaenda kule Western region, hiyo fare ikuwe affordable. That's a leader that I want. Akikuwa pale things zikuwe vitu kama hizo, hata kwa amenisaidia those infrastructure, healthcare, good governance. That I don't care ni nani ya huko. Nenda home nikismile, nikienda kwa supermarket natoka pale sijakasirika. That's the kind of leader mimi nataka. At least taxes ziko chini.
Exactly.
Na juu hiyo taxes hakuna ya Mjaluo, hakuna ya Mluya. That's the only thing mimi nataka to embrace. It's high time we learn. Just the way Black Forest amesema. Let us think about ourselves. These guys always come together. Right now, they are fighting each other. Right now they are eating together. Na sisi hapa tunaanza ku create an enmity. Alafu utapata Mluya anapiga Mkikuyu, Mluya anapiga Mjaluo. Surely tunaenda paka physical. Now these guys, they don't fight. Their children don't fight. That's bro.
There's something else. Kidogo, as you finish that point, I want to emphasize on something here. You know, when these guys tell us GEMA for GEMA, you know, if you stay in Nairobi, you know very well that the most majority of the landlords are Kikuyus or the landladies. So what happens if the Luyas and the Luos in Nairobi start evicting those houses? Waenda wakae place sio kwa Kikuyu, you see? It is the same Kikuyus who will suffer, you know. They will go losses, they will go loans, itakuja kuchukua manyumba yao ama whatever. Therefore, this narrative of the GEMA for GEMA is not here nor there, because it is affecting Kikuyus more than it is affecting anybody else. So, what we need to be preaching here is an all-inclusive country, a better country where all of us can feel and be proud to belong. That is a Kenya that we want to build, not a Kenya where GEMA are telling us that there are more Kenyans than other Kenyans. That is not the country that we want to build. We don't want to build a country where one community is telling us that if you don't buy from them, you are an enemy. They will not be selling to other communities. That is not the society that we want to build. We are all Kenyans, and we have made a lot of progress, especially with the Constitution 2010, you know, where we are talking of a better country, the devolved government, so that we can devolve resources to the people, you know, because initially, you know, from in the old constitution, the president was, we had a winner take it all, you know, kind of an arrangement. But today, we have people getting development, even those in opposition. Today, you don't need to be in government to get development. You know, we know counties like the Siaya and others, they didn't elect Uhuru Kenyatta. They didn't elect President William Ruto, but today they enjoy the fruits of devolution because of the progressive constitution that President Kibaki and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga bestowed to this country. That is the kind of leadership that we want. Not a country where some people feel like they are more Kenyans than other Kenyans. Not a country where other people are terming others Doreres, G whatever, all those bad names. You know what these people are forgetting? We have Kikuyus who are outside Mount Kenya. We have Kikuyus in the we have Kikuyus. What happens to those Kikuyus? You know, those Kikuyus are in places that are not domiciled by Kikuyu. You know, a Kikuyu in Lamu is in a place that is more of a Mijikenda and those coastal communities. So when you tell us that GEMA stands for GEMA Wasapotiane, those people who are in the outside GEMA, what will happen? And the hypocrisy of this whole idea that we have Kikuyus who are homeless today. Why are these Kikuyus not supporting themselves? Today, we have Kikuyus when hawana school fees. Why are you people who are proclaiming to be more Kikuyus than other Kikuyus? Simuenda msupport hao watoto wenye hawana school fees. Today, we have Kikuyus who are sleeping hungry. And we have Kikuyus who are millionaires. Why can't you people come together? Kwanza mpe hao Kikuyus wenye hawana chakula, food, before you come telling us how you'll better this country. If it's about GEMA for GEMA and supporting each other, we need to see it practically. We need to see landlords wakikosa kulipisha Wakikuyu rent because they are Kikuyus and they speak the same language. If that is the narrative you people are pushing here. So therefore, this narrative is not here nor there, and the only time we can have that kind of a GEMA or whatever is when people are coming together for their culture, people are coming together for their tradition, to enjoy their traditional food, to enjoy their traditional pombe, muratina and everything else. That is when we can have Kikuyus and Luos, cultural nights or cultural festivals where people can come enjoy exchange. That's a good idea, you know. But what you people are propagating here is total nonsense that we will bring more problems.
No, Karaja, you are out of topic. Karaja, you're out of topic. No, you cannot say that we are not going to be GEMA, where we are the majority who build the government. We are the one who. We are the majority who build the government. So I don't know why. And we have to
African son, what are you talking about? That majority who build the government. What?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. This is unbelievable.
Oh my God.
If you are
the majority, why are you not? If they are the majority, why are they not?
How many tribes?
I need to respond. African son, please try to get a chance.
Kufurisha kichwa mpaka unaona nyinyi ndio majority in parliament. Imagine ati nyinyi ndio majority.
Can I talk?
4 tribes. Okay, go ahead.
To be honest, even if government is not
okay. African
the dominance at Kalenjin is in Kikuyu. So why should someone even blame the country Ruto is taking to the wrong way? And yet there are people out there. And Kashako was the second in command. For the 2 years, Ruto Kashako amefanya nini? Nothing. Jesus.
Okay, me, first of all, I want to respond to all these people typing here GEMA for GEMA. Somebody even
but where are you? Bona munauma tukisema GEMA for GEMA.
No. African son, just listen and kama inakubo you can leave. Let me talk. Okay, si mmesema GEMA for GEMA is for I don't know how many tribes. Other since we belong there. Personally, I'm from Meru. But we are not going to support a group that is promoting hate. We can't do that. So if you come up here, no, mnasema ati tunaumwa na GEMA. Si ati tunaumwa, we are trying to stop this nonsense. We are trying to stop this nonsense because you had a
GEMA is not nonsense. Okay. GEMA is not nonsense.
Okay, let me finish. It is. I mean that's my opinion and everybody.
GEMA for GEMA
hata Java amesema the same thing. So don't cut me off. Wacha kunikata nikiongea. Javan pia, if you listen to him, is a Kikuyu too. Amesema it's nonsense. It is. Number one,
na kila mtu akadakani yake. Kama yeye ana understand GEMA ni tribal.
you can barely express yourself with facts, and then you keep on ukikata huyu.
I know, because I'm
stay muted. Let her talk.
Yeah,
she's a lady. What happened to ladies first?
That is even the problem we have, because I'm responding to Ngema because wengine watu we are born from your Murima, you're calling Murima, but we don't want to promote this to the kids. Now already hii kitu imespread. That's why you're seeing them on the comments, Ngema for Ngema. And what's her name? Black Forest amesema ukweli, there are people still suffering. Personally, a family member died. That family member lived in Kitale. He was shot kwa sababu walikuja they came to steal the cows, and he went outside.
Lead boys of this country, the Jaramogi Oginga, and other visionary leaders envisioned. Not this tribal conversation, not this tribal political party that don't serve the interest of Kenyans. That is why today Kenyans are suffering, because they have been hijacked by tribalism. We get so emotive with this 25 the tribe, but we don't get anything. You know, these tribes, they're just used by politicians for their selfish interests. Nothing for Mwananchi. It's high time as Kenyans and the young people, the Gen Zs and the millennials, it's time to have a conversation about a united country, political parties that serve the interest of Kenya, national political parties, and we do away with this takataka of political parties that don't serve anything. This political party that produce sycophants. The reason why we have sycophants in parliament is because they are afraid of their party leaders. You know, the reason why we have poor leadership today is because these party leaders, they sell these party nominations to the highest bidder. They sell these party nominations to their sycophants. You see, that is why this country is not moving forward. That is why we need political parties that are owned by Kenyans, that we can ask the party leader to leave na atoke na chama iendelee. That's the kind of Kenya that we want. Thank you guys for your time and listening for what I had to say.
Thank you so much. So definitely speak to facts, yeah? Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my God. No wonder why this GEMA for GEMA movement is so sickening. There are a lot of people hapa kwa nini wana comment Ngema for Ngema, wana type Ngema for Ngema. That alone tells me that you people don't even understand what GEMA stands for. Lakini because mmeona pale ni Kikuyu inaongelelewa mmekimbia hapo. Nani amewaona? Kama huyu anajita sijui nani? Something sijui Gregory M psychologist ameshinda Ngema for Ngema. It means you don't even understand what GEMA is, but because of that tribal element in it, musinunue kama si kwa Mkikuyu, musikule chakula yenye si kama si mchele ya mwea, musinunue maziwa kama si ya Wakikuyu. Because of that, wewe umerukia uko ndani una support what you don't even understand, and this is why tribalism is very very dangerous. Kwa sababu nikimpandisha hapa nimuulize GEMA inamaanisha nani, huyu nini, huyu hajui lakini already ana support. Now you people being like what is it?
You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You're handsome.
Mtoto ni mzuri. Sikia anasema mzuri. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I need the brody of Jesus.
Wewe koma Glado.
Glado sijui nani atatununulia cake, story na takake.
Nimepandisha Gregory hapa. Gregory, hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. Can you kindly explain what this means?
I followed the conversation. And this conversation, as a country, we have to understand the history of this. The history of the politics of this country are tribal. We have to accept that.
So we should
Tunasikizana?
by history not change.
You know, just a moment. Tupelekane vizuri pole. Sisi tunawasikiza. Hata sisi tusikizeni. We are saying the same thing, but possibly some of us are jumping before the drum. Because if you look at right now, the political system right now in Kenya, in the current government right now, we have to understand how people voted. And we have to understand how that Gachagua who is being hated right now, how he was injected. Were people talking about him? People are not talking. We were very comfortable. Not understanding how that political... Just a moment. No, just a moment. Si mnaongea tunawasikiza. Kwa nini sisi hamtaki kutusikiza?
Okay, lakini Gachagua
just a minute. You see, when people print a certain picture about a certain people, it is a high time we start deconstructing that particular picture. Because for a very long time, Gachagua Genesis, we were not talking. Gaucho came out and talked about Kikuyu people. Who is talking about it? Now, when now, because these people have been gaslighted for a very long time, when you guys are coming together, you're coming together for GEMA. You are becoming tribal. When other communities are coming together, they are never tribal. When now the Murima people are going back to themselves and asking themselves, where did the rain start beating them? That is when other communities have a problem. Why can't you allow GEMA for once to come together and sort their issues? What is wrong with GEMA people coming together? We don't hate anyone. We are telling ourselves it's high time we go back to ourselves. Because how come Wetangula right now is in the seat? Just a minute. Nataka mtusikize. Hapana, nataka msikize. How come? Wait, you guys. Just a minute before we listen to you. Because that
give him time.
Yes. When Wetangula came on the table, good. When Wetangula came on the table, came in a certain way. Kingi in a certain way from Mombasa. Musalia came a certain way in Mombasa. We people, the Kikuyu community, believed so much in Ruto. All right? We feel betrayed whenever we are going back and asking ourselves, how come that possibly the seats of the parastatals right now are going to one community? Nobody is saying that here. We are just saying how possibly GEMA should not be GEMA. Who is talking about parastatals right now? Look at the list of the parastatals. Who is talking about that?
I knew this had nothing to do with Lady J's court. I knew the impeachment had everything.
You get. Who is talking about, right? Just a minute. Yeah. Tunasikizana. Who is talking about the seats right now in the parliamentary select committees? Who is talking about them? They are coming now from Central Province. We elected the current government. We actually elected the current government. We gave 47% of our votes. So right now, we don't matter as a community. Right now, you saw what was happening in KICC. Nobody was talking. Nobody's talking about the unity. But when we come together and we're asking ourselves, look at how, guys, these people are treating us. Look at how we are presenting ourselves. There were seats that were divided when these people came together. Who is talking about it? Right now, possibly other communities are very okay, because now the seats are being distributed as they want. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody is actually seeing the 47% of our votes.
Gregory, can I ask you a question? Alafu uendelee.
Just a minute, wacha nimalize. Ulicontribute na tukasikiza. Wacha nimalize. We are a community. Wacha nimalize. Si tumewasikiza.
Kikuyu akipewa seat huko yeye
si tumewasikiza. Just a moment. Sikizeni. If it is being tribal, if there is one community in this country that is not tribal, what I believe so much is Kikuyu. Tell me any other. Tell me that Luo community who has chosen there, who has ever voted apart from Raila. They have voted Raila. Why is it that we Kikuyu community, when we decided that possibly we decided that possibly yes, this is it, this is Ruto, he's not a Kikuyu like us, our own son from the mountain.
You are not true to yourself because of Raila. Kenya
just
got
a minute.
Kenya got Kibaki. So please,
I want to ask Gregory a question, alafu ni nyamaze amalize. Only one question.
Uliza.
There is a Benson acha mimi nauliza tu swali. I want to mute. Let me ask a question. Benson tulia. Please mute. One, we are here because there was a fight between Lady J and Githaiga, and ikakuja ikakuwa it is tribal because Lady J used Kikuyu on her platform blah blah blah. Then ikaenda kwa Githaiga ikakuwa political. I want to ask this question. If today there was not that kimbi between Lady J and Githaiga, where would you have expressed all these political things? Wapi? Because we are becoming more political than discussing what triggered today, because whatever happened today is what we need to be discussing. It is not about political or Kibaki or whoever. We need to talk about ile makosa imetokea leo. And when we are talking about GEMA, what about Wakamba? Because Kamba is in GEMA. What about any other tribe? What about Luya? Because Luya iko Bantus. What about Kisii? Because Kisii iko Bantu na nilisikia wakitajua hapo. Why is it about Kikuyu? Why is it about, what is this with Kikuyu? Because in that platform walisema let us protect Bantus, and you people are not talking about the other Bantus. We are not talking about Mijikendas. They are also Bantus, I think. Why is it about Kikuyu? And why is it now political? Because we need to be looking for a solution on how people are using people in this platform, and it has nothing to do with tribes, because hii yote wa Kikundi walijiletea. Kikuyus went to Lady J's platform. They went and did whatever they did on that platform. And now because things didn't turn out to how they wanted to turn out, ikakuwa ni mbaya. And now Lady J akatukana wa Kikuyu because walitukanwa, walitumiwa. Why are you not talking about that? And now it is about Kikuyu. You know, and if we are talking about now political, we need to look for a solution about this tribalism and not talk about Kikuyu all the time, because Kenya is not about Kikuyu. Kenya has a lot of tribes. Hata Waindi walipewa nini tribe as another tribe. We need to look about this. We need to look for solution. We don't need to start looking at who nani alifanya nani alienda. We are in these platforms kutafuta solutions and to try and preach something that will heal a nation or somebody out there. That is my own nini, and that is why I'm wondering, why are we all doing politics? You know, if it is about tribal and nini, Kikuyus can gather themselves and talk about it hadi asubuhi and whatever happened. But if you're not talking about any other tribe and it is about Kikuyu, we are not helping each other here. Let us talk also about the challenges Luyas have. Let us talk about the challenges Kisii has. Let us talk about the challenges Kuria has and everything, you know. So let us, we need to stop. It is becoming something else. I thought you coming to give us a solution, but now when you start, it is not about Kikuyu now. If we need to, we also need now to start fighting Kikuyu, because it is not about Kikuyu. We need to look for solutions. I'm also Kikuyu and I don't understand why it is about Kikuyu. It is no longer Kikuyu. You know, we need to be, what about Benson? What about who else here is? What about JB? What about Jules? And Jules is also from GEMA, and she is also looking for a solution because she has kids and she needs to find an environment where her kids will coexist with any other person. We need to look for these things. But tutaka hapa kesho asubuhi, saizi ni 9. We started this thing at saa moja talking about Kikuyus. What is this about? Kikuyus are very selfish and we need to look for something, so for a solution. It is not about us anymore. It is about Kenya, and Kenya cannot be Kikuyu alone. kindly, it is not about Kikuyu. Wakati Raila alikuwa anafightiwa huko, si kuona social media ati akifightiwa na Wakikuyu alone. It was everybody, because they felt now it is enough with Raila. When we are fighting Ruto na anaumiza kila mtu, hakuna mwenye anaenda hapo ati specific tribe na nini ana fight Ruto. Tuna fight tukiwa wote, because ni sisi tunaumia. We need to look for a solution, because once you come up with a solution from here, somebody down here will listen to that solution na kesho ataenda kufanya hivyo. But if we continue talking, that's why unaona Wakikuyu wanakuja hapa kutuambia ati Gema for Gema, Gema for, and these people, you people have, sitaki kuongea vibaya, let us look for solutions kindly. Let us talk. Na nimewakumbusha hii platform tunakujianga therapy, and that is why today you're here to try and talk something that will change the nation. Thank you. And talk about makosa za Mbanya, because Mbanya ndiye ametufikisha hapa. Mbanya aliongea vibaya, point that out, telling the whole universe that Kikuyu mwende mnunulie Kikuyu wenyu, sijui tutakula omena, sijui these are the things that we need to call out, and we need to find a solution. It is not now about Kikuyu anymore.
Black Forest, thank you for correcting that, because I think what's his name? I think Gregory doesn't understand what we are talking here. It's not about politics. It's about how GEMA responded.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh.
No, I wanted to say, and I don't know, I think Black Forest took it a whole, I thought it was a question that you could have given him time, because I think he does not even understand. I think Gregory does not even understand what TikTok is on about today. Kuna watu wengine kama Gregory wameingia, and they think we are talking about Gachagua and politics. So as we are we just want to know the basis of where did TikTok, how did TikTok get here? Because this is not the TikTok we know. Maybe Gregory umetoka Facebook ama umetoka wapi?
Just a
then
minute.
Tell us from there.
Just a minute. When Gaucho talked, did you guys talk? Because all this conversation was started by Gaucho. Did you talk? Si Gaucho ndiye alianza his narrative about the
I don't even know Gaucho.
About the community. Thank you.
So Gregory, let me tell you something. I don't even know who Gaucho is.
Thank you.
I don't even know who Gaucho is.
Thank you. Sasa nyinyi mmepata conversation ikiwa huko juu. Yeye ndiye alianza that conversation. Just a minute, waja nimalize. So you guys, other communities right now, people are very comfortable because we people, we have supported politics of deceit. Anyway, this is the conversation. I actually am one person who lives in Nairobi. I went into a school which had everyone in this particular country. I went to a school that had everyone in this country. I'm never tribal, but this is what I hate. This is what I hate as I'm growing up. When I started working, that is when I realized how Kikuyu I am. Why? Because you go to these particular places, you're seen. I'm barely 40. Guys, you go to a place. I have worked in different ministries in this country. When you go there, now when you go there, it's everywhere. Why is it that right now we are very comfortable? We are talking about the bringing together and having politics. Unless we shall understand the politics of this country that are organized in form of class, we are going nowhere. Don't ever be cheated. That possibly Kenyan politics, there is one day it will be based on issues. It will always be tribal. Truth be told, it is whoever have numbers.
Okay.
No. It is whoever have numbers.
How is GEMA for GEMA? How is GEMA for GEMA going to change that narrative? How is it coming to help?
Thank you.
Even as Black Forest asks you, the way forward, how is GEMA for GEMA going to change all that? That is my question. How is it a solution?
The way forward, GEMA will go back to itself. They have the numbers. They'll always be asking what is GEMA on the table for us.
Is GEMA Kenya?
Of course. What do you mean? Of course. GEMA is Kenya.
What do you mean?
GEMA is Kenya.
Honestly?
Kwani Wakikuyu wako wapi? Kwani Wakikuyu wako Kenya?
Usiongee hivyo hivi social media.
Why are you
I'm asking.
mentioning Kikuyus and GEMA has
see the problem.
4 tribes.
Just a moment. Just a moment, guys. Just a
So
moment.
GEMA
guys.
is Kenya.
You can. This community is part of this country. We are part of this country, whether you like it or not.
42 tribes, Gregory.
Yes.
So,
And
what is GEMA?
and 42.
GEMA? What
And
is
42.
GEMA? Is
One of
GEMA
it is
Kikuyu
Kikuyu.
alone?
And 42. No, the mountain.
Yeah, answer
GEMA
that.
for Kenya.
No,
You just kept saying
You guys
What
are
is
too high.
GEMA? What is
You
GEMA?
guys
Peace watu wangu. Peace.
You guys are
You're right. Somebody is saying Kikuyu entitlement. That is
whether you are like it at Hami. You guys, whether you are like it at Hami.
Listen. No problem, Musihame. But let it sink in your minds. Okay, no problem. Let's stick to this. Ni kweli hamtahama.
Okay.
But let it stick in your minds. We have 42 tribes.
Kikuyu being one of them.
GEMA is not Kenya. Yes.
Meru being the other.
No problem.
Kama being the other.
GEMA is not one tribe.
Hakuna
There are 4
kuhama.
tribes.
But
Yeah.
GEMA
Yes.
is not Kenya. And
Yes.
we have 42
They are part of the
tribes.
Kenya.
And the way you just said, the way you said about parastatals, because some dockets have been taken away from Kikuyus, Saido mnaongea. We have 42 tribes. Wamalakote wapate.
It is very okay.
Waturkana wapate.
So it is very okay for Kalenjin to have majority, and we the other communities keep quiet. Eh?
When Kikuyu had majority,
Can you think that we contributed
with them?
47%
among themselves?
We contributed 47% of the vote.
had a bigger percentage.
No.
Any other tribe
Yes, we
support?
contributed 47. Where did the Luo vote?
I want to ask one question, eh? Nataka kuuliza swali moja.
Hizo communities zingine zilivote wapi?
Mimi I'm an outsider, Gregory. I'm asking.
Can they be comfortable in the opposition?
Yes, wait, I ask you a question.
Why can't we have a stronger opposition? Why did he sign that thing?
Nikuulize swali, Gregory.
Uliza.
GEMA consists of 4 tribes, si ndio?
Yes.
Wakikuyu
And we have cousins now.
Wakikuyu wanapenda Wakamba ama bora Murima isiguzwe?
Tunawapenda sana.
Because
They are
I'm
our
an
cousins.
outsider and I know that Kikuyus hawapendangi
That's a
Wakamba.
lie. That's a lie.
GEMA have been
Hata
imekuwa ikigawanyishwa na
Hawapendi wa
GEMA
Meru.
imekuwa ikigawanyishwa.
No, they
That's
don't.
why we want to come together and be one again.
Lakini mimi nimewambia mimi lakini nasikiaga Wakikuyu na Wakamba
we are going to
hawapendani.
build ourselves again as
Wacha
GEMA.
nikwambie JB. Wacha nikwambie Wakikuyu.
Wacha tukue tribal.
Alliance ya
Wacha tukue tribal. Wacha tukue tribal.
Wacha nikwambie Wakikuyu hata wapendi wa Meru. Unaona Mkikuyu anapatia wa Meru anaambia vitu zitafanyika kimeru.
If GEMA is threatening, let it threaten, but we are going to be together.
Wenye wampendani African Sun. Nyinyi
tunapendana
and now, no, Gregory, and that is, na ndio maana umekuja hapa, you're referring GEMA, instead of saying GEMA, you're just saying Kikuyu. GEMA is 4 tribes. Stop referring GEMA as Kikuyu.
We are going to
Exactly.
Kindly allow us.
By the kwa nini mnakasiwa impeachment na hata na nini from GEMA mwenye alimpitia GEMA bado.
Huyo ni appointee, huyo ni Esther, huyo ni Esther, huyo ni wakwaya.
Nasikia vibaya na Ruto.
Huyo ni wakwaya.
Mtu wenu.
Because he's
Huyo ni wakwaya, huyo ni kwaya.
Because he's not Kikuyu.
Huyo ni wakwaya. Huyo ni wakwaya.
No, he's not saying that because he's not Kikuyu.
Huyo ni wakwaya. No, huyo ni wakwaya.
Wapendani.
Huyo ni wakwaya.
That's where my point lies.
Wait a minute, I've remembered something.
It's a political appointee of the government.
We are not against Ruto.
Wait a minute.
We are against Ruto juu yeye ameharibu nchi. We are against Ruto juu ameharibu nchi. He has taken a country to it, to it down. He has dropped our country to its foot, and that's very bad. Na mkisema ati
Kindiki is GEMA. Kindiki is GEMA. Why are you not telling us about that?
Wait a minute, guys.
Why are you not satisfied?
Nani alitolewa Kindiki akawekwa, mko na shida.
We did not elect Kindiki. We did not elect Kindiki. We elected Gachagua. And that's why Ruto aliondoa Gachagua. Ruto aliondoa Gachagua. Juu alijua Gachagua anajua
African Sun.
politics.
African Sun.
Yes.
Wait a minute, let's just ask you a question.
Dominant Kikuyu
Okay. You're saying you elected Gachagua, right? And you're saying GEMA for GEMA.
Yeah, we elected Gachagua and Ruto.
Yes.
Okay.
We
All
elected
right.
Gachagua and Ruto.
You remember?
Yes.
Do you know in that ballot?
Are you the only people who
we also
elected
had
Gachagua? Do you know that
FYP.
a whole country elected Gachagua? Sorry, Faisal. A whole country elected Gachagua. Why are you saying we elected Gachagua? Do you think it's Kikuyus only who elected Gachagua?
We gave 47% of our votes.
How do you want me
we
to
gave 47%. 47% of our votes went to UDA.
And the 53% came from where? And the
from
53% of the votes came from where? From others. Who you discussed.
Yes.
The entitlement. The entitlement.
Kwa nini amuoni Luos elected? All along Luos have elected. Wajaluo wanachaguaga. Kwa nini amsemi Wajaluo wanachaguaga Wajaluo?
It's
na
just because
Kibaki,
you
nani alisema
Kikuyus want to
Kibaki
use
tosha?
these other 3 tribes.
Let me answer you.
You should go and form your
Faisal.
own Kikuyu group.
Yeah. Who said Kibaki
Because you're
tosha?
referring Gema as a Kikuyu group.
Let me answer your question. Umeuliza Kidiki is a GEMA. Yes, I accept Kidiki is a GEMA, but we did not elect Kidiki. We elected Gachagua and
as the same. Okay, thank you very much. You're coming to a question I wanted to ask you, African Son and Gregory.
The problem of our country. And that's why Ruto alimuondoa, juu Ruto alijua nikiondoa Gachagua nitaweza kufinyiria inchi, nitaweza kupora kila kitu. And that's why Gachagua alikuwa naona Ruto akiiba yeye anaongea, anatuambia hakuna kitu atakuja venye inchi inaenda.
Good.
Yeah,
thank you.
Exactly.
Now listen. You remember when your son, the son from Murima, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, aliwaambia this person is the bad person. What did you do?
Kwa nini?
No, answer my question.
What did you do?
What did you do?
When he was supporting, when Ruto was supporting him.
You don't want to answer. Another question. There was another lady who was from the GEMA. What's her name? Martha Karua. Why didn't you vote her being the head?
We had an agreement with Ruto. Ruto walisema wakiwa na kuru yangu 10, uhuru yangu 10.
You see, you don't know how to answer questions.
Again on
I will not answer you the way you want to be answered.
Ukabila sasa ndio
hakuna mtu anataka ukabila. We want good governance.
And you're here.
Guys, can you know?
Gregory, you're not even helping. I am not a tribalist. Nobody wrote an application. You people are not even understanding the reason why we are here.
Tuko hapa kutafuta the way forward.
Starts from us. Don't tell us about history. Kindly.
Thank you so much. I have listened to you, and for me, I support that we will come together, respecting each other. When we say one man, 1 shilling, there is a problem, and there is a lot of noise in this country. Why? Because when we ask for equitable distribution of resources, there is a problem in this country. That is 1. 2, we have equalization fund. You guys, I think when we are having this particular conversation, we also need to understand where we are coming from. We are having this particular conversation, understanding that possibly even whatever has happened like yesterday or on Saturday, it's based on tribal. Truth be told, it's about numbers. Somebody somewhere is benefiting. All right. So for me, when we guys are coming to sit down and possibly have this particular conversation, I have tenants from different tribes, and I respect them. They pay their bills very well. But at the end of the day, those guys are in Central. So if Central is being given money for the numbers, wacha tupewe. Wale kwao walitoka na huko kwao wakakuja wakakaa Central to agree. And when we have this particular conversation, it's a problem. Why is it that possibly Taita Taveta wanaambiwa time ya census waende wahesabiwe huko because wanahesabiwa kwa place nyingine? Tunasikizana. We support Kenya becoming the 40, hata tukitaka kuongeza 52 tribes ni sawa. But We are asking, we guys from this side.
I'm leaving you up here intentionally ndio uendelee kujiaibisha na kujionyesha how tribal you are.
Let me be.
Time kwa nini?
I have no problem.
Normally ningekualisha kudrop, nataka mpaka Wakikuyu wa come to their senses.
I have no problem. I have no problem. It is my own opinion.
Black Forest.
Well, you might end up changing some people wenye wamekuwa kimba Gema tangu asubuhi warudi tena wakwe Gema for Kenya. I'm telling you the
we are Gema. We are Gema and we will not be intimidated. We are comfortable because at the end of the day we shall remain ourselves, and we are not back. We are not. For me, any primitive thing that would bring this country down, I am not for it. But I am about people being treated in the best way possible. Why is it not right now we are not saying we don't have an opposition? Why is it that we are not having that particular conversation? Because the structure of our government is there is government and there is opposition.
Gachagua is opposition.
Just a minute. You see, sasa nyinyi ndio mnaniambia. Is opposition how? The leader of the opposition is the person who came number 2. No, the leader of the opposition is whoever came number 2. Sasa nyinyi ndio mnaniambia. Sasa wewe ndio unaniambia possibly I'm exposing my stupidity. And I'm sorry to say
how is Gachagua in opposition and he was elected as the deputy president of Kenya?
Thank you.
Nimeona kwa nini Githaiga alikuwa anataka ku divide 50-50.
Ni sawa, wacha tu divide. But I'm asking this. Why is it that we people in this particular conversation, we are only seeing GEMA, we are not seeing that possibly somebody somewhere in the opposition has decided to go on the side of the government. Right now we don't have an opposition. Why is it that we are not having this particular conversation? We are only seeing GEMA. One person, Amenda ameongea vibaya. I would not say, for me, I have my mechanic is called Ogutu. He has been doing my car for the many years. I support that gentleman. He's such a gentleman. He does my car with a certain precision that I cannot get from my own community. I will support Ogutu. Hata tukifanya aje. But I want this country to be governed nicely. I want a system. Why is it that somebody somewhere went and possibly right now there is an MOU which possibly is just a paper? It has nothing. Why can't we have this particular conversation? We are only seeing GEMA just because Gaucho came the other day and akaongea
support.
Goja just a minute. Gaucho alikuja akaongea juzi hapa akasema nyinyi wa Kikuyu, sijui Ruto, sijui atafanya nini, tutawagojea pale tujue kama nyinyi ni maumau. Kwa nini we didn't tell Gaucho, kindly, we are 47 tribes. Why is it that possibly when now this particular GEMA community and their cousins in Cumberland, when they are asking, hey, where are we? Well, there is a problem now. Why can't we be constructive enough? We understand the foundation of this country, the importance of good system, because that is what can help us. But possibly mtu kukuja kusema ati sasa nisikule fish. If I want fish, if my kids want to eat fish, I will buy fish from Lake Victoria. If they want fresher milk from Githongori, we will sell to them. But how can we have a conversation about if in 2027 you guys will vote in the opposition? Kind opposition. We have right now the devolution. Kama sahi in terms of Kisumu, they have their own governor who is Anyang' Nyong'o. Anyang' Nyong'o amepelekwa pesa yao. Can they think about how their money will be used? Mwangi wa Iria amepatiwa pesa. Mwangi wa Iria amepatiwa huyu wa Matangi hapa Kiambu, where I come from.
Back to your senses.
I'm not coming to your senses. For me, I'm asking myself. I'm asking myself, because you guys, we are being told not to be ourselves. I was born a Kikuyu and I'll remain one. And when I'm thinking, I should be allowed to think as a Kikuyu. Why is it that possibly when our Luo brothers and sisters, when they are coming to demos, we don't have a problem with them? We don't have a problem with them. Why is it that when GEMA community is coming together now, this is now when other people are possibly thinking that possibly we should not come together? I think for me, I will support even the Luo people when they are coming together to support themselves and to know how they can make Luo Nyanza much better. I will support people in
supporting themselves means Wajaluo kujisupport inamaanisha samaki wajiuzie Wajaluo kwa Wajaluo.
Hapana, kindly ni understand.
Kwa kabila zingine.
Kindly ni understand. Me we
Because that is the
usiniweke
example you gave on how you are going to
usiniweke
support each other.
kindly you are not listening to me. Nimekuambia if the person who does who makes
Yani
my car
wasikule
is called
anything
Ogutu.
from
Just a minute. Si unaongea tunakusikiza. Si wacha hata sisi tuongee utusikize. Nimekuambia the guy who does my car is called Otieno. When I'm eating fish in town, CBD, naendaka kwa Mjaluo. Kwa nini siende huko? Kwani yeye si Mkenya?
Cameo.
Okay, Mr. Greg, lakini
kwani yeye si Kenya?
Drop the GEMA narrative now.
But listen here. When people when Luo Nyanza are going back to themselves for them to become better, who has a problem with it? When Kikuyu, when the GEMA community come together to ask themselves how they want to be politically organized, why do you have a problem with us? What I have a problem with is stupidity of the things that, just a minute, is the stupidity that will bring this country down. When I eat fish, I want fish from Lake Victoria. Kwani Lake Victoria iko Central?
Wakati muliambiwa maziwa ni ya Wakikuyu tu, mbona ukupanda pale juu waambie hiyo ni nonsense, because those are the things that triggered all this conversation.
JP, not everybody
ni mwea pekee.
No, na mimi nawauliza hivi,
Banya even said that people from outside they should only buy. No, let me talk. Let me say something because I think you're not getting the point.
No, tunawasikiza. You are the majority here.
We should come and buy properties from the GEMA people. Why should you tell the diaspora people to come and promote GEMA? That's wrong.
You are the majority people here. Simu tusikize pia hata sisi. Sisi tunasema
tunakusikiza but auleti watu sijui kama una understand Gregory. Jules anakuambia we are discussing about
get this. I am not saying anything primitive. Mark my words. Anything primitive.
Wasomali wakule nguo zao.
Waliambiwa Wasomali wakule mawe zao.
Nauliza hivi.
Watetemesha sana.
African Sun, ngojea. Gaucho walisema.
You people don't even know why GEMA was formed.
Si kwanza tusikize nini.
Gregory akotena. You will feel better after here. Thank you.
Si tusikize mimi na African Sun. When Gaucho aliongea akaongea mbaya story ya Wakikuyu. You guys, kwa nini hamkuraise voice yako mwambie Gaucho? Even Raila was given some votes from Central. Now when one person talks, au kuja aseme Wakikuyu, mimi siwezi mfuata. Mimi nikitaka kukula fish ya Lake Victoria, nitakula fish kutoka Lake Victoria. Mimi Ogutu ndiye ananitengenezea gari yangu. Sitakosa kupelekea Ogutu ati because mtu amesema ati Wajaluo wakae na vitu zao na Wakikuyu wakae na vitu zao. But when Luo people will come together to ask themselves how they can do better. When people from Northeastern, they will meet and ask themselves when they will be better, I will support them. Why can't they support GEMA when GEMA is coming together to ask itself how can it be better? But anything primitive, I will not support. Mark my words. Anything primitive, I will not support. But anything progressive, if Kamba people can go to themselves and ask themselves how they can have borehole, how they can do more farming, how they can do more exports, I will support that. As Kamba community, because it is their birthright. Why is it a problem when GEMA community is coming together? Just because mtu moja hii meeting yote yani tunahave because mtu moja aliropokwa, mtu moja mjinga wa kutoka Kikuyu community ameropokwa, ndio tumehave hii conversation yote.
Ni lazima tuone hiyo conversation because tulisema platform where everybody where 5 point something walikuwa wanaangalia na hizo ni generation yenye inakuwa misled. We are talking because there are people who are misled. Usiniita kuna watu walikuwa misled. Kuna kama Jules aliambiwa kuna mtu kama aliambiwa anunue shamba hadi
ngoja kidogo akaniambia usite Black Forest.
Can I say something?
White Forest.
Naweza kusema
hebu ongea.
Acha niongee kitu. Habari zenu?
Poa sana ndio.
Wazima.
Okay, I've listened to some few things here. First of all, I would like to say that nobody is threatened by GEMA. And I don't think anybody can be threatened by GEMA. If you have that kind of thinking, then you're very backward and illiterate. GEMA is just an identity. That is Kamba, Gikuyu, Embu, and Meru.
Exactly. Yeah.
So those are things that don't get to threaten us. What we are trying to tell you is that when you are making tribal cocoons and groupings, and they are based on hatred towards a particular tribe, that is where the problem starts. Okay? You can organize as Gikuyus to do whatever you want. You can organize to do business. You can organize to do business amongst yourselves. You can organize to have sex with each other. That is your business. It is when you want to put yourself in a better place, a place of privilege, in order to subjugate another tribe. Those tribal walkers is what we are calling out. And I hope that people can get the difference. This noise you're making about having a Luo mechanic, who cares about that? You can even have a Luo girlfriend that sucks your cock every morning. We don't give a fuck. That doesn't change you from being a tribal person. How many white men and white women here have adopted black children and they are still racist? You think that because you have a Luo mechanic, it stops you from being a tribal bigot? It doesn't. And I think that a lot of the arguments are being made on this platform are coming from people that don't have proper education. And when you sit here and you tell us that,
Unajua nimegundua most of them are illiterate, Diana.
Yeah.
Only
No, and then, no, listen, let me tell you something. Let me finish. They are trying to say that, oh, why is it that when Luos are coming together, we don't have a problem, opposition? You're asking about the opposition. Opposition does not get paid by anyone. Don't question about opposition. Raila can choose to be opposition. He can choose to be a prostitute. He can choose to be a thief. He's not doing the work for you. It's a choice. You don't get to pay him. Opposition can be you or I. Opposition is anybody who is against oppression by the government. Simple. Nobody is elected into opposition. Have you ever gone to elections to elect anyone for opposition? Have you? How can you even ask anybody where is the opposition? You don't have to talk like that. You need to educate yourself. And I'm going to take you back because you keep on saying that, oh, you need to understand the way that this country was built, the history of this country. Do you know the history of this country? If I ask you right now to understand the history of this country, when you talk about inequality and you talk about the taxpayers and the government systems, do you know the bedrock of this country and the history from pre-colonial times into colonial times? Do you know the role that the Agikuyu people played to change everything in this country? Why is it that most wealth is acquired? If you look at the statistics, do you understand why we don't have equality when it comes to the distribution of resources? Do you understand? Do you even know? Do you know the bedrock of our constitution and why it is as biased as it is? Do you get it? Do you know why that the Mau Mau were fighting and why they were being killed when they first went into the forests? And it is the Murima people that were killing their own Muripa people. Do you know the history of the Mau Mau and land and the distribution of land and property in this country? Do you get it? Do you understand why we don't have equal allocation of money in different counties? Do you know why there are roads in other counties and we don't have better roads in other countries? Do you understand inequality because of tribalism? Do you know your history? I think it's important for most of you people to read. You need to read and educate yourself. And when we talk about tribalism is taught by mediocre parents, people who sit on platforms like you and teach your children stupidity in the home. Teach your children the truth about this country. Teach your children the history of this country with truth. And don't teach your children hate. And then you're going to be killing tribalism. When we talk about accountability in terms of government systems, start teaching your children about good leadership. Don't talk to your children about GEMA. That is coming from a primitive place. Teach your children the importance of education, getting the right skills in order to empower themselves so that they can be good educators, people who can live in society with the right skills and be impactful in the societies and the people they interact with. Teaching your children GEMA. I've never seen a doctor introduce themselves anywhere that, hey, my name is Dr. So I am GEMA. Nobody gives a fuck about your GEMA anywhere. GEMA only works in your tribal cocoons. Nobody asks if you're a Kikuyu before you give them treatment. Nobody cares. Okay? Your GEMA is just in your head. Nobody will ask me if I'm a Luo when I'm going to treatment in the hospital. Nobody. When we treat patients, we don't get to ask them if they are a GEMA. Your GEMA is just a simple bubble in your head that has been taught from generation to generation and it's instilled in your head. And you think it's of importance. It's not. There is no job application that asks for GEMA as part of the qualifications. So GEMA is useless. It's a dead on arrival agenda that is being, charaded by primitive and backward folks. And we are calling out the use of tribalism as a tool to subjugate, humiliate, dehumanize, and objectify other tribes. That is what we are calling out. We are not calling out why you are eating guache and not buying milk or not buying fish. We are way above that. I hope you understand that. And me, honestly, I don't like engaging in cheap conversations. Like I have to sit on a platform with someone who is arguing about their mechanic being a Luo. Come on. Funny, what did I
About
go to school
Kikuyus
for?
being the majority in
About
the
Kikuyu being
government.
okay, you are majority
Since
in the
when?
government. Okay, good. Listen, they are majority in the government. Why can't they change the system? You're majority in the government. Why is the economy not doing well? You're majority in the government. Why is Kenya in trillions of debt? You're majority in government. What are you doing with the majority? Nothing. Your majority and Gachagua was still kicked out of his vice president seat. Majority by mouth.
Mbona mliachilia nani GEMA wenu?
Move the economy. Let us see the GDP that you're bringing as Central Kenya before you talk. And you need to learn and understand what people are bringing in and look at the numbers. And I'm telling you, go now to Google and check because unataka tuongelele tribalism. Ingia kwa Google side and look at the people who are bringing in money into Kenya's economy. Uniambie kama ni GEMA. Because as people in the diaspora, you've never experienced it. You don't know how it happened and why it became what it was. And if you want us to talk about facts, we can also talk about the elections and the role that GEMA has played. Now you talk about GEMA and the Gikuyu community. Nataka tuongelele election na vile elections zimeibiwa. Nataka tuongee. You want us to go there? So we can speak the facts of the matter as it is? And we talk about corruption? You want us to go those routes? Well, before you start asking people for accountability, check yourselves. If GEMA community want to come together, they need to come together to check themselves. Look at your history and look at what you have done to this country. Pay attention to your traits. That is what I'll tell you before you come here to pretend. Give the mic to another person. I'll give it to Kimaliza Kunitomba, yes. Kimaliza Kunitomba, utoe mboro yako, nitapatia na mic.
Lakini si unajua wanasemanga truth is bitter. Ukweli unauma.
Yeah, truth is bitter.
Yeah, the way the GEMA is being bitter on you. That's how you are bitter on yourself.
Why is GEMA being bitter? Like mimi na akili zangu zote niambie watu ati I'm a Luo. I am going to be a Luo. I am Luo for Luo. What stupidity is that?
You people are not understanding. GEMA is not tribal.
Hiyo ni ujinga gani?
GEMA is not tribal. GEMA is not being tribal. GEMA is playing politics about how you can build a better Kenya.
Yani African, even
Kenya by hating on other people. You don't get to build by hating. You don't. You only show your insecurity
Diana
by
has just
hating
said
other people.
that people from Mount Kenya, they were killing themselves wakati wa Mau Mau. How are they doing that? And they are
You don't know your history? Let me teach you history lesson. Kenyatta himself was killing Kikuyus because they owned
I'm past
property.
that. I know my history.
Ask him, Diana, ask him why GEMA was formed. He doesn't. Ask him why GEMA was formed. Ask him why GEMA was formed. Because hapo ndipo tunafaa kuanzia.
Kikuyu ndiye achukue land yao. Hujui?
The thing that we are fighting here, we are fighting about bad politics in our country. So stop going back to
if
what
you're
you have
fighting
been.
bad politics, you have to start using your brain.
But you just asked a question, African son.
Tribalism. Umesikia? Kama you're fighting bad politics, you need to stop using your tribe as a tool of privilege and subjugation.
But we have to unite to be together so that we can know who is the fit to.
You can only unite.
Who has good ideas?
You can only unite based on the fact that you want to empower yourselves, but not to unite to hate on another tribe. That is stupidity.
Yeah. Actually, I'm against that. If people are uniting to be against other people like being tribalists, I'm against that. But we have to unite all tribes of Kenya, 42 tribes. You have just said it's actually 43. We have to 44. Unite all of us. 44 actually. Okay, 44. We unite all of us. We put our mind together and say what is good for Kenya. Who is fit to lead
now
Kenya.
You're talking.
Yeah. So that we can eliminate all this issue of being tribal, fighting each other. Ati siwezi fanya biashara na mtu fulani ati ni wa kabila fulani ama ametoka the constituency fulani. No, that's not where we have to live.
Good we have to live remarks.
We have to live together as
African son.
But those words ndizo zinafanya tuko kwa platform hadi saa hii.
Gregory,
msimamo African son.
African son.
Okay, when I accept to be together with people, Black Forest, when I accept that we have to come together, that's why we are. That's how when you come back and say that I've changed my mind. Yes, I have changed my mind because I don't want a country that is fighting. I want a country that is in peace.
Thank you.
Black Forest wants me to stay in GEMA so that we can.
If you said this at exactly at 8 when Karanja was here, hatungekuwa hapa. But now because since imerudiwa,
thank you very much, African
the
son.
same thing.
You're a smart student.
Exactly.
Okay, we don't have to continue arguing. So let us get to the table now. What can Luo, what can Kikuyu, what can Kalenjin, all those like-minded people come together. We have a discussion like this platform. We can we are discussing. We can say we need this leader who have these ideas, who have a good idea for this country, not somebody who is misusing our resources. Everyone is paying tax. Yeah. You know,
that's good. Thank you, African son. You're a smart student. You adapt faster.
You know, we are not going to argue that in a tribal way. No, we want a better Kenya, a Kenya for everyone. We finish with Kenya, we go Africa. Yeah.
Assuredly.
Hiya, Gregory, closing remarks. Your African son is with us.
I'm not someone who talks too much, so may I take the mic?
Sure.
I hope everyone is well. JB, thank you for giving me this chance to come on your platform and talk. Personally, I'm not going to say so many things. I'm just going to go straight to the point. Thank you so much, JB. So I'm going to go straight to the point. And I believe we all know that Githaiga is one of the biggest tribalists on this platform. I have never encountered anyone like Githaiga in my entire life. I swear to the living God. Githaiga is a passionate tribalist. And believe me, Githaiga, the biggest community that Githaiga hates on the Western community, specifically the Luo Nyanza. I have no idea why. And if anyone wants to still listen to Githaiga's bigotry, his sentiments towards other communities, and him feeling that the Kikuyu are the superior community in Kenya, I believe that you should be also having the same narrow mind as him. I see him as a very narrow-minded human being who incites tribalism whenever he gets the chance to do it, and this is wrong. I mean, Githaiga is a tribalist. It's no secret, we all know. And there are a few people, of course, who support him, and he incites tribalism every now and then. And my prayer to God is, I hope Githaiga never ever gets elected into an office where he leads. He has a leadership position in our country, because he will be destroying everybody that's not a Kikuyu. I'm sorry to say this. I hope Githaiga can get this message. Please stop being a tribalist. Stop being a bigot. You are someone who comes from a group that is actually, you know, you should understand how it feels to be put in such a situation. And you're the one who usually every now and then you get the opportunity to be against the Luo Nyanza people. You go for it, and I don't even know what you have against the Luo Nyanza people. I don't understand it. Githaiga, come out and say it. Come on, just come out and say it. It's enough. Come out and say what problem you really have with the Luos, because it's now enough. And that's all I'm going to say. JB, if I've made bad remarks on your platform, I'm very sorry.
That was so accurate, Angeline. Because
yes, it has. We have to say it. Githaiga, just come out and say, what do you have towards the Luo Nyanza? I don't understand.
I always call Githaiga Mungu wa Kikuyu, like a god of Kikuyu.
Yes, and he thinks that Kikuyus are the superior community in Kenya. We are all equal. We are all Kenyans. We are all equal.
We can't go back to where we were in 2007.
Yes. We are all
Some people
equal.
have never recovered mentally. People lost their loved ones because of tribalism, and we be sitting here clapping for someone saying that hata maziwa wataki nunuliwe maziwa yenye si ya Wakikuyu. What is that? Ni kama you are coming up with a small country called GEMA. We are Kenya.
I'm even shocked.
Even Kisses have a group called Mwanyagetinge. We are Mwanyagetinge for Kenya. Not Mwanyagetinge for Mwanyagetinge. No. We are large also. We have our own group. Same as that GEMA whatever. Na si ati mnapenda na mpendani. Ebu na appointment ya Ruto. Hata mko mnakumbuka ni kindiki ni GEMA. Na angekuwa alichagua kama Mluya hivi. Ndio sahi mngekuwa mnafanya nini? Kama hiyo impeachment ndio imeleta hii hatred yote. Whatever happened today has nothing to do with court. Na Lady Jacqueline, it's you who got a chance ya kujiseparate, kukaa kando, ndio mwanze kuattack other tribes na hiyo kabila yenu. We are not going to be tribal. We want to live as brothers and sisters. Sitaki kujua unatoka kabila gani. Yeah.
So, just like I said, Githaiga, just come out and say what you have against the Luo Nyanza people. You can just be frank and say it, and ikutoke, because it's too much now. Every opportunity you get, you come for the Luo Nyanza people. You are a bigot, you are a tribalist, an inciter of tribalism, and we cannot take it anymore. I can't. I'm not someone who talks too much, but it's just enough. Come out and say it. And to my other brothers, I believe that maybe you're talking out of ignorance. I don't think you understand what you're saying. Mr. Gregory and the other guy, I mean, we are all allowed to form our own communities, to associate ourselves with our people.
Gregory yako therapy session.
Okay. We are all allowed to associate
That is
with
why
our
I'm giving him
people.
all the time.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that whenever you want to associate with your own community, you have to be against another community and also try to undermine them and feel that you're the superior people or the superior citizens of our country. No, that doesn't work like that. We are all Kenyans and we are all the same. No one is better than the other. That's all I'm going to say. JB, I'll just drop. Nakushukuru sana.
Yeah, thank you
Shukran
so much.
sana. I hope nikikuja tena utanipandisha.
Hakuna shida. You can come anytime.
Guys, kwaherini, and I wish you all a lovely evening. Shukran. Bye.
Thank you, Angeline.
Yes,
I'm
I
even
have.
shocked in this
I have
era.
listened.
We are still talking about this thing.
Yeah, I have listened. And
are you switching?
To where?
Like African Sun?
I think allow me to speak my mind.
Kindly.
Thank you. Githaiga is Githaiga. Let Githaiga be addressed as Githaiga.
We are here today because of that Githaiga. Unasikia?
Thank you. So, let Githaiga be addressed as Githaiga. Githaiga is one person in the community that has millions of people.
A group.
Just a minute. Why, when you talk, you guys, we are keeping quiet. I have not interjected anyone because I'm respecting people's opinion. Can we also be respected? Because we are learning. I'm learning, you're learning.
Okay.
Right? So, Githaiga is one person who is entitled to his own opinion. And not everyone in this community called GEMA or called Kikuyu uphold that ideology. All right? But it is so bad that for you to balkanize every person who now has his own thought about, first of all, looking at himself and asking himself, how do I come in this table called politics? Will I be on the table being eaten, or will I be among the people eating? All right? So for me, I don't acknowledge whatsoever anyone who would fight anyone because of where they were born. Nobody wrote an application to be born where they were born. But can people be allowed to handle their psychohistory? Can people be allowed to handle what the issues that are coming on the table? Because what Githaiga is saying, it is his own sentiment. I am agreeing, and I'm not really saying that what Gaucho said is what the Luo people hold. No, I'm not saying that. And I'm not attacking anyone because I understand not everybody is Gaucho. Gaucho talked and he started this particular conversation. And I have no problem with any other person who comes from the Luo community or any other community in this country, because this country was demarcated in Bahrain Conference. I was not there. Nobody actually in this generation was there. So we are victim to a certain extent of this history. So for me, this is what I'm saying. Anything that is primitive, anything that would say that guys don't buy things from a certain community because our community is 1, 2, 3. That one is primitive. That one I will state and I will continue stating. So if I will be accused of possibly, because I'm not tribal, I'm a Kenyan, I agree. But I come from GEMA community. But GEMA community has Kikuyu, has Meru, has Embu, name it. So we are asking ourselves now, because people are very, 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 very comfortable that possibly one person has moved from one side of politics that is already organized. Why do you go into this particular ballot box knowing that possibly you can become number 1 or number 2? So when we are talking about not having an opposition because somebody has crossed the line, we have a problem. When we are actually saying right now we have a political appointee as a deputy president, why were the writers of this constitution decide that the president and the deputy president need to be on the ballot box? There was an MOU with any other person in that particular government. Why are people not saying that? Why are people not saying that? So when we people come and really say that we are disadvantaged when we voted in a certain way, now our narrative is not valid. When we actually come out and state our truths, Now our truth is like we are perpetuating ourselves that we are better than any other community. No, we respect any other community. For me, Githaiga is Githaiga, Gaucho is Gaucho. Can we have a honest conversation about ourselves? We educate each other, and every person need to be listened. People of Mombasa said Mombasa si Kenya.
Tulisema Pwani si Mombasa, Pwani.
Sawa, mulisema Pwani si Kenya.
So thank you so much for watching the video to the end. Remember to like, share, comment, and if you have not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe and put on the notification bell so that you know every time I post a new video. So guys, thank you. I'm gonna see you on my next video. Bye.